Boom! Hello. Oh, hold on. Now we're going live on... Sending us live to YouTube, sending us live to Twitch. I've realized that I need to change my settings on Twitch. 1 second, folks. People on Twitch are going to have no idea what I'm doing. Why am I streaming something crazy and not what we're planning to stream inside of the... Hold on 1 second, folks. We're almost up and running. Let me pop this out. Let me bring you guys right back here. Let's throw our music back on, if it'll go back on. Well, here we are. Hello, everybody. I think that we're live on YouTube right now. If you're on YouTube, I think you guys are. Can you guys hear me on YouTube? I think we're live now. Hello. Welcome. I'm Rich Slayton. That's Juicy J, who I think his camera might actually be frozen now, on top of all that.
Oh, great.
Hold on. Hold on, folks. We have some, technical challenges that we're trying to solve here to get everything all nice and sorted. This was, we thought we had it sorted, and then we last second needed to change our way we were bringing Juicy J's camera into here. And let me go ahead and try reloading this. Give me 1 second, folks. Nope, he's just stuck. Stuck just like that.
Nice.
Hi, I'm Rich Slayton. That is supposed to be Juicy J, but right now it's just his frozen face. And this is the Copa All-Stars Finals here on a Saturday. I'm very excited to have all y'all here to join us. We're still working on getting this this camera of Juicy's working, but we last second tried to do a different methodology so that his camera wouldn't be all gloopy, and instead we made it worse, I think. So that's super fun. Let me go ahead and try reloading your camera.
Yeah, I sent you another link.
I think that thing that just doesn't like it. It just doesn't like it. And if you're on Twitch and you're in the T3 channel, because I've not changed over to, haven't switched it over to being Clash Royale yet. This is Clash Royale is what we're doing here, folks. It's another game you play on your phone or over the mobile device. Hold on, I'm switching things over I'm switching us over to the Clash Royale side on Twitch. If you're like, let's see. CRL Golden Ticket Copa All-Stars. I'm putting this up on Twitch right now. And let me go ahead and hit one little button here for y'all so you can see the schedule for today's events. Or this is the schedule for the tournament overall. As you've seen, we've gone through a number of phases. Many phases indeed, and we are now on day 2 of our multiple day finals to award a $50,000 prize pool, and of course, Juicy, what else is in store? What else is on the line today? There's something else important, if I remember correctly.
A good old golden ticket.
What's that?
Yeah.
What's a golden ticket? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, a golden ticket. I mean, that's what you need in life. Qualify for the World Finals in the Clash Royale League $1 million prize pool in Helsinki, Finland this September. I'm pretty excited to go and watch. It's been a while since we've had a live event for CR.
It will be super fun. And all right, now we're in the proper category on Twitch, and I for one am very excited about that. Still trying to solve the. Let's see if we still have a frozen Juicy J. I think this is just what his face looks like now.
Just here, I sent you a new link on Discord. Try that out.
Oh, okay. Let's try the new Discord link. Here you go. Let me show you guys the prize pool for today as I try to go and get Juicy's camera back in here really quickly. 1 second. Lots of money on the line. 50K to be precise. 50K. What is a K? Well, a K stands for 1,000. If you're going on like the metric style sort of thing. So 50K, $50,000 on the line overall. 15,000 of that going to the winner, which 15,000. You can get like a decent, you can get a pretty solid used car for.
I mean, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Especially for a lot of these players, which are pretty young, I'd say.
Hold on, let's go take a look. Boom! We got Le Juicy J back in Le Chat. Speaking of Le Chat, let me go ahead and take a look at the chat for a second here. I see that we're live on both YouTube, and now let me just go ahead and double check to make sure we are live on Twitch. Boom! We're live on both of these things. Juicy, I think you probably have a link to the bracket somewhere. I see people on Twitch calling out for it. To be like, bracket?
Yeah. Let me get that for you 1 sec.
Let him get that for you, dog. I just put an ad in. I'm sorry. If you're on YouTube, I did not mean to throw an ad in there. I'm just trying to get everything set up properly. And
Send you the
sometimes
bracket on Discord.
yes, I don't have that command set up, but you probably, if you know how to do that sort of thing. And let me see if we do have this going on. Let's see, does this work? Boom! Sheesh! Ian gonna bust these noobs, says Marijan Super. We'll take a look. Let's take a look at the lineup for today. And there's some bangers in here, let me tell you. Most importantly, take a look at, from my side, I'm very excited to see Airsurfer all the way in the mix. USA. Will I be slightly biased today in favor of Airsurfer? Yes, potentially. He's an OG, one of the best. And, of course, also out of the USA, Ian77. Some big-time names in here, though. Ardentoas, one of the young guys, the ESL Snapdragon Pro first split NA winner. Adriel, who has been playing competitive for a very long time, quite famously made an interesting run through CCGS a while back. More on that if you have been around for a while. Wallace, of course, formerly of Pain Gaming, now of Tribe Surg TS, giving out some of the best tips on Twitter right now in all of Clash Royale. Lucas and the hair in the building. Coka RX, a lot of CRL alum here, and then, of course, some upstart players. Francito had a pretty good run into CRL World Finals last year with the bleached hair. Tico out of Brazil. It's been a fun one. We'll see if one of the veterans comes out on top of this or if some young upstart goes ahead and takes control of the bracket. And for those of you wanting the bracket juicy, which matchup here are you most excited about from the 8 that we're guaranteed to see coming up?
Honestly, I mean, that's tough. I was really excited to see Airsurfer actually beat Ian77 yesterday. For today, though, I'm not sure. Let me see. This is not loading.
Let's see. Lucas in the first match against Gweiss. Francito and Surg TS. That's might be a little salty there, a little feisty in that one. Coka and Tico is an interesting matchup of young Brazilian players. Oh, no, that was yesterday. Well, let's go on to Why are we still on yesterday?
I don't know. But yeah, today we got TRB Lucas versus Surge. We got Prestige versus Alexi, Coka versus Airsurfer, and Mario versus Ardentoas in the winner's bracket, anyways. And then looks like in the loser's bracket, we got FRAM versus Gweiss, Wallace versus Sub, Ian versus King Tico, and Adriel versus Luminary.
Very interesting. I'd love to see Ian and Adriel, if they both get through. It'd be a fun matchup. But
true.
They, of course, both got to get through this.
Yeah, I would say the one that I'm most excited for today would definitely be Airsurfer versus Coka. I'm also biased towards Airsurfer a little bit, but also in the last phase, I just watching Coka. I've become a big fan. Honestly, he's always, from what I've seen, he's always playing with his shirt off, and he gets very fired up whenever he wins. It's pretty entertaining.
That is one of the most fun parts about watching Coka RX in these competitions. Is he definitely gets fired up. You've seen him yell what I'm assuming are just sweet compliments at his phone during games. So he's a blast to watch. Hey, it's Tommy in the YouTube chat asking, is this the 5th golden ticket? Darn right it is. This is the day 2 of 3. Tomorrow, that golden ticket will be finally awarded, and that will be back on Juicy J's channel. For those of you who do want to stick in for that one, I had no idea where they were going there, but now we're back right here. Hello again, I'm Rich Slayton. I've been casting Clash Royale League for so long that I've been casting since Juicy J was the locker room talk maven of Team Liquid, the king of giving what do they call those things again? What do they call those when they were the war room speeches?
Oh,
the king of the war room speech.
The war rooms, dude, that was a long time ago. I miss those days, the war rooms. I don't know. Do you ever think that Team Clash Royale will ever be a thing again?
Nope.
Or
unlikely.
Nope.
Highly unlikely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I have interesting thoughts on it. In a perfect world, it would be. But in a perfect world, all the orgs treat the game as well as Team Liquid did. So there's a lot of different moving parts here and there. Either way, let's go ahead and jump into our first game of the day. Francito against Gweiss. Elimination round. One of these two getting kicked to the curb, having just made a little bit of cash, but nothing more than that. The other one taking one step closer to a trip to Helsinki, which, by the way, if you don't know, that's in Finland, for those of y'all playing along at home for the World Finals.
Yeah, I've never been to Finland. I mean, obviously you're going. Have you been there before? I'm sure you have.
This is my first time.
Oh, really? Okay.
First
Wow.
time going. I'm very excited about it. It'll be really cool. I've been wanting to go for a long time, and this will finally be that chance. So no, I'm pretty pumped about it.
Yeah, that's actually cool. I would have thought you would have been there, but yeah, that's yeah, it's gonna be really entertaining finals. But it's also just nice to see, like, it's gonna be. I wonder if we'll be able to like see the Supercell headquarters at all.
I wonder if that's like specifically part of it. Okay, I guess we're not going into gameplay. So I was all ready for the gameplay, and then fake out, big fake out, folks. From
my casting yesterday, like, I'm really excited about this format. By the way, it is best of 3 duels formatting, but they go into the game so quick. There's like no downtimes in between the games in the best of 3s because they're using like the in-game best of 3 like duels format, kind of like Clan Wars.
Yeah, it goes really fast. And for those of you watching, I know I can see there's a little bit of desync between Juicy's mic and the camera. That's because of the way we're bringing his camera in. It does create a little bit of desync there. So I'll see if we can try to fix that up. It's remote production. There's always something that's a challenge there. Van City asking who has the golden ticket so far. Well, let's see. How about this? Can you guess who has the golden ticket so far? Because at least two of your guesses are definitely going to be right. Then there's another one that's going to be a tough guess. And then one where if you guessed it and you didn't know, I'd be like, let's go to Vegas right now and win a ton of money because you are a prophet of some sort. First golden ticket winner out of Brazil, Samuel Basoto took the first one down. After that, no big shock, it was Le Mohamed Light. And then Mohamed Light won the next one, but since you can't win two, Mugi ended up taking that one home. He'll be going to World Finals. And then Mohamed Light again won the next one, but since you can only have one golden ticket, Jensi Aslan took that one out of Turkey. So yeah, 4 out of our 16 trips all sewn up. And who's your? I mean, Juicy. You probably talked about this a lot yesterday. Who do you think are? I'll give you 3 options, 3 picks. Your 3 best options to make it through today.
So I was really thinking Ian77 was going to take this golden ticket, especially like he's just been absolutely dominant right now. He actually won the most recent Royale tournament, and I really was expecting him to win, but then Airsurfer kind of came in with a bit of an upset and beat him yesterday. So if I had to guess right now who was going to win this golden ticket, I would maybe go for Lucas. I would say my top 3 would be like Lucas, maybe Ardentoas, and Ian77.
All right. Let's go ahead and jump into our game here. I'm adjusting the game volume just a little bit here, folks. In fact, I might need to interact. Give me 1 second. Please excuse my dust as I go ahead and interact with the clean feed itself for just a second and turn up the volume inside the stream. No, it's all the way up. Never mind. All right. Well, I'll try to pump the volume a bit more on my side. I believe that's maxed that I can reach it to, though. So that might need to be done in the production side. I'll make a note. And here we go.
Done. This game might be done already with that balloon just going straight to the tower somehow. Like I believe the skeleton dragon pushed the balloon away from the mortar and just completely bypassed that building placement from Gweiss.
And he's certainly not happy about it. Rolling the FC Barcelona jersey is Guwice. I didn't know that was his team of choice. And here we go. Lava up again does Fram, who I'm curious as to what color his hair currently is. Famously platinum blonde last Worlds.
Yeah, I'm not sure who has matchup here. It's really going to depend on Fram's spells. It looks like it's kind of a classic Lava Loon with barbs instead of the Mighty Miner. So probably a Fireball Zap, which actually I would say would mean that Gweiss has a pretty okay matchup here. He does have that Dark Ob, which can get like insurmountable amounts of value, and this Minion Horde can be tough to deal with as well. Dark Ob is doing its best, but the Skelly Dragons actually take it out. So that's going to be towered down here on the right.
And that seems like it's going to be a very difficult task to get a tower back at this stage.
Yeah. It always is with Mortar Miner because, I mean, it's a chip/control deck, right? So when you're losing in towers so quickly, coming back from that spot is always rough.
Lava Hound up to the left-hand side for Francito.
Yeah, this is really...
goes to support.
Yeah, this is like smart from Fram because like he does have Lava Loon, which, he could try to just defend for the rest of this game. A lot of time with Lava Hound, you actually want to apply pressure. Like, offense is the best defense kind of ideas here.
Oh, and it's Fireball, which just really sealed the deal right there. No coming back in game number 1 for Gweiss, so. I'm very curious, Juicy, about your thoughts. You've had some time to play with this in-game duel mode. How do you think it's impacted the deck construction? Not just, obviously, you don't have the flexibility that you're used to having from game to game to swap different cards out, but are there any decks that you've seen become more, people lean on them more because they're trying to hedge their bet with this, or any decks that you've seen kind of fall out because they don't have that flexibility anymore?
Yeah, honestly, like, a lot of the times players are really going towards like the strongest decks in the meta because there isn't like a whole lot of time to choose your decks in between matches. So I've been seeing a lot of drill. I've actually been seeing quite a bit of E-Giant. And then, yeah, I haven't seen almost any like log bait really. Generally, I would say because people end up using log bait after they've realized their opponent has used like the log and arrows and other really good counters. But when you kind of have to be more on your feet and pick these decks kind of beforehand, like, yeah, we're seeing like a lot more drill and E-Giant and maybe minor, just like more consistent stuff that doesn't really get influenced as much by the other cards that are being used throughout the best of 3.
I am seeing some people on YouTube saying stream lagging, but I'm looking at the connection and it says excellent connection with no issues inside of YouTube. So if the stream's lagging on your end, maybe try lowering the resolution a little bit and take a shot at that way. But so far, I'm checking on my side, have not seen any stream issues coming from our end.
Speaking of consistent decks, this is the opposite of consistent from Fram. What is this? Giant Skeleton Bridge Spam with like Flying Machine and Ram Rider. I've never seen this deck before.
Yeah, this is interesting, but maybe taking some risks here, or maybe Fram with the lead on this one decided, hey, let me play something kind of off meta and leave something very powerful, maybe 2 very powerful options for game number 3. So
true.
Ram Rider being in here is very strange. Desperado CR over on Twitch saying haven't seen Ram in a while.
Yeah, it's definitely not good after that snare nerf that it received a couple months ago. And then I'm not sure, what do you think Gweiss is using? It's got to be a Golem deck, right?
I mean, there's not really another option at this point. It'd be strange. I mean, technically you could be doing Graveyard here, but Golem is kind of what it has to be, it seems.
Yeah, maybe E-Giant, but I'd say the chances of that are low. Mainly just because of like the high elixir cost of all the support units here. A lot of time E-Giant has a couple cheaper cycled cards with it, like at least one elixir card, because it is based more around getting E-Giants down rather than just supporting that tank with a gigantic push.
Snowball in, Ram Rider will connect. GG's potentially down to 7-14. And so far, Francito pitching a shutout here in game number 2. 3-0-5-2 on the left-hand side and the right as we go into sudden death.
GG's.
And this is an elimination match, and that's going to be a tick-tick-boom. Guwice, not quite nice. GG, well played. Francito with the 2-0. He'll be moving on.
I like that rhyme. That was a good one.
It was right there. It was pretty much like if you can't find that one, I think that you probably need to go back to school.
Yeah, maybe kindergarten.
Here we go. Victory for Fram, who's dropped the Cedo, by the way. Maybe he feels like he's old enough that there's no need to have the Cedo anymore. He's not little Fram. He's big Fram now. And
I like just Fram. It's good.
Big Fram?
Yeah.
Or just Fram?
Well, no, I like just Fram. Because, I don't know, it adds a little bit of mystery, you know? I don't know.
Here we go, taking a look at the early tower take in game number 1. And this was just devastating. Gweiss taking that early loon hit and then playing off his back foot the entire time. Here we go into game number 2. Francito going Giant Skeleton Ram with a kind of funky bridge spam deck, some big spell bait in there as well with the Flying Machine and the Zappies. And this was just an easy shutdown. Didn't even smell tower damage. And here we go, looking at the overall decks and overall situation powered by Royale API. And I wonder what that card is that's glitched out on both sides.
I'm not sure. I was wondering about that.
This is an interesting view. I'm trying to understand. Oh, this is like the final view of what happened for the whole...
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. For the whole duel.
From the whole best of 3, it shows you like the most played cards total out of everything. Which is interesting, but I feel like I'd rather see like per match, you know?
I have heard some of the Royale API guys talking about on Twitter saying that it's the API doesn't pull information well from the duel mode, and so that's kind of that they were saying that this was maybe a challenge to get decent information for post game stuff. So, I guess we're seeing some of that here.
That makes sense.
Either way, GG. We'll be seeing a lot. By the way, if you want to know who are those guys? Well, on the left-hand side, that's Alan Franzotti, former coach of Before Pain Gaming, former coach of Vivo Keed, part of that duo Ike and Alan, who helped Vivo Keed on the back of High Vicatorze make it all the way to second place at World Finals in 2018. And then on the right, that's Deco, who's been one of the 2 Brazilian Portuguese casters since the inception of CRL. Interesting note about him, he was actually offered a position on a team in the original CRL LATAM and turned it down to be a caster instead, and he continues to be for all this time. So that's who you're seeing there. Between those two. Coming up next, Wallace and Sub. Obviously I know quite a lot about Wallace. Juice, you've been seeing him for a while. Tell me a bit about Sub. Do you know much anything about him at all?
Not really. The only thing I know is he's a fantastic Clash Royale player. From what I've seen so far, he's an amazing deck picker, or maybe he's got a coach or something like that. But he also just brings like some very precise play from what I've seen so far. And I think this is going to be kind of a powerhouse match. I could not tell you who is going to win this. It's really hard for me to make a prediction here.
Interesting call here from Patrick Schott saying Cal Sub has a 0% chance. So you say difficult prediction.
Oh.
And he just goes, yeah, I can predict this one easily. 0 is the chance for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of Wallace. Oh, here we go. Exclamation point Wallace or exclamation point Sub in the chat, guys, if you guys want to vote on the left-hand side of your screen here about who you guys think will win.
I think that only might work in Twitch. I don't know if that works on YouTube, but go ahead and try it in both.
Let's see. We see a Queen from Sub and a Hunter. If I had to guess, it's got to be Royal Giant. And then Wallace coming out with the E-Giant here. Most likely, I would say E-Giant Mirror, but you never know.
I feel like we haven't seen a lot of E-Giant in the normal duel mode because people are always able to sort of make a pick on avoiding that on being able to counter E-Giant. Have you seen more E-Giant now that we have the in-game duel mode?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I was saying, E-Giant's definitely one of the hottest picks here in this in-game duel mode. We saw it a couple times yesterday, and correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but I believe that it basically won every single game yesterday. A lot of this E-Giant cycle, also kind of like an E-Giant control with Mega Minion. I was talking with Jeebus on Twitter, one of the quote-unquote like most famous coaches, and he's really liking the pick for Mega Minion E-Giant, just because Mega Minion can provide a lot of value. A lot of time E-Giant doesn't have an air unit with it, like with this version from Wallace, but the Mega Minion can be really useful as well. I'm not sure how Wallace is going to play this. The biggest thing in this matchup is you need to Tornado the Fisherman. Because once you Tornado the Fisherman, then the E-Giant can't really get pulled. And then you're kind of stuck from sub side, like defending with just a Hunter. See if we see the Tornado here? No. He goes for Mirrored E-Giant.
interesting choice here. Maybe he tornadoes this in now to, yep, and there you go.
Yep.
And will he get enough on tower here? E-Giant staying alive against that Archer Queen, and that is a ton of damage on the right-hand side. 35 seconds left, 12:53, so there you go. The exact thought by Juicy J. Go ahead and get your coaching now, $100 an hour for coaching from Juicy J. And he made the call there. He's going to have to tornado that in, and absolutely exactly what happened out of Wallace.
Yeah, I mean, even with the tornado not being perfect there, not killing the Archer Queen, not pulling it all the way, he still took that tower down so much because the mirrored E-Giant just has so much health. And that's the thing about the E-Giant. If you have a lot of health, then it does a lot of damage because of that reflection ability.
Here we are, sudden death overtime. Sub falling behind pretty heavily here. And here comes the mirrored E-Giant. Got to defend maybe 2 more RGs on Wallace's side. And Fishboy completely taken care of. Hunter going to work on that E-Giant. But now a nice little dash by the Golden Knight left-hand lane. So lane damage from both sides from Wallace as we go into the final 90 seconds. Big lead for the Brazilian, but keep an eye on that bottom left-hand tower, which is the one big opportunity Sub has to get back in this one.
Yeah, this is just brutal right now. Wallace is just abusing these mirrored E-Giants right now. And Sub can never find the right moment. Like, whenever you're going against the mirrored E-Giant, you need to have the opportunity or, like, have the awareness of when they go for an E-Giant to try to pressure, to prevent the mirror from coming down. And then on the other hand here, Wallace has just got perfect defense versus these RGs. He's got a cannon. He's got a tornado as well. But, you know, Sub is doing his best, and he is getting some damage here. We are heading into triple elixir time. Wow, that Golden Knight actually hit the tower. That is insane.
Huge connection, 50 seconds left now as the Archer Queen goes into her ability, able to pull the RG back, and Cannon does get down in time. Nice lightning. Will RG get a shot? And it does. So this is a big opportunity now. Fishboy out to the side. There are 2 E-Giants on the board, and the Golden Knight distraction, NATO in. This is probably going to be it. Rocket down, GG well played, and Wallace takes game number 1 courtesy of a giant carrying 2 Teslas on his back.
Yeah, it's actually unbelievable like how aggressive you can be with that deck and also not get punished because the E-Giant just has a, I don't know, has a uncanny way of just taking out any sort of counter push on its own because of that reflection ability.
Well, this is one of the challenges, I think, of the in-game duel mode, which I'm totally in favor of, by the way, for earlier rounds of competition, right? For qualifier-level rounds where you have hundreds of players, things like that. I'm completely in favor of it. It's far superior to having single game, and it's also far more manageable than, you know, if you have, like, 4 different concurrent Swiss brackets. You got to have, like, this is a much more manageable way to get through those phases. But for later phases where you have, you know, 30 to 16 players, that sort of thing. The problem with this version of duel mode is that you have to build 4 decks with E-Giant in mind, or at least 3 with E-Giant in mind for those decks, right? You have to be, or be hoping that you just pick right and don't pick wrong on those ones. Whereas when you have the more flexible version, you can be holding back cards, like you're either, you know, maybe you bet you see E-Giant in game number 1, or you're holding back cards that could be for E-Giant in later games, but then not having to have them forced into decks that don't need them once you've already faced it. So that's one of the really interesting deck building challenges here with this one and with this mode. And it's, like I said, better than it's more competitive than just a single game of Clash Royale, but definitely gives far less flexibility and kind of messes up, just makes the meta challenging for later competitive.
Yeah, it is actually fascinating. I can't imagine, like, being a pro before. Like, I can't imagine playing a game, like, with 50,000, or playing these games with $50,000 on the line, right? And you're having to pick your decks that far in advance. It's gotta be rough. And like you said, like, you do have to not only think about E-Giant, but also everything else in the meta. You know, there's always counter decks and counter decks. There's so many different things you have to think of. And yeah, it must be tough for the players. And yeah, I would definitely agree with what you said. Like, I think this format makes a lot of sense in like earlier stages of a tournament because it's so quick. Wow, that Golden Knight, sorry. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that Golden Knight went just about everywhere all at once. And as we go into our final 36, 35, 34 seconds, so far no significant damage either way, just a little bit of chip, but Golden Knight at least putting on a show here for Sub.
Yeah, the other thing that you said about like kind of picking the right decks, there is like so many decks in this meta that have like they're still good, but they have been geared towards like countering E-Giant. Like for example, Zappies before like last meta, not really seen as much other than in maybe a Royal Giant deck, but now we're kind of seeing it in Graveyard, we're kind of seeing it in Drill Bridge Fam sometimes, and that's just because they do so well versus the E-Giants. There are just a lot of different meta changes to certain decks that improve your chances of beating E-Giant because of how strong it is right now.
Graveyard in on the left-hand side, and going to get a little bit of damage here, but not a lot. Well defended here with the Dark Prince, Giant Skeleton plus Barb Barrel. Counter push on its way. So we'll see what Sub chooses to do here, supporting the Giant Skeleton with the E-Wiz, and goes opposite lane with the Drill.
Yeah, I think that's a really important thing with this deck. Like, you can just go for defenses and counter pushes, but like going opposite lane, applying that split lane pressure is really important versus a Graveyard deck, because with a Graveyard deck, you're actually able to do just that a little bit better. You're able to defend and you're able to counter push. So going like split lane or / ops lane versus a Graveyard deck is really strong here, and it's going to work out for him. He gets a massive Golden Knight connection on that right-hand side, and he takes a good damage lead here.
And here we go, Giant Skeleton down, pressuring left-hand lane as the Graveyard defense is into the weak side for Wallace, so this could be a challenge. Not going to get much damage on that left-hand lane. Here we go, final 47, 46, 45 seconds. As I'm giving a little checking in with Juicy to see if we're close on the same time here. And at this point, Sub can just sit back, not give up anything huge with this next Graveyard.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be too difficult, but I mean, there's 2 cannon carts on the board right now.
One Stab Gob does get through, one shot, 622 on the right-hand side, 15 seconds left. Skeleton King down. Poison goes to the left-hand side instead, and no Graveyard for Wallace. So that's going to be a GG well played. Sub takes game number 2. We're going to game number 3 here, folks.
Good game. That was an interesting matchup. I would say, yeah, I mean, I would say that Drill Bridge Fam deck, like I said, like there's so many players picking that deck. Also, there's different variations of that deck. Just because it's so consistent. And that Golden Knight Magic Archer Tornado combo is just very undefendable in certain circumstances. So yeah, I would actually say that Sub has a pretty good matchup there, and he did take advantage of that, and he played that really well. But now we're seeing a drill from Wallace here.
And Wallace looking like it might be a little older version of Drill here with the Fire Spirit. We'll see if it's double bait.
Yeah. Okay, Valkyrie. So there's like a couple different variations of this more controlled aspect or quicker cycle control. Okay, looks like he's got the Valkyrie Dark God version, which means he'll probably have a Skarmy. There's the Skarmy. So both players using Skarmy. Arrows from Sub though. So yeah, I guess just a mortar spam versus kind of a drill spam matchup here.
Curious to see what the spell situation is for Wallace, because arrows can certainly shut down at the -1 trade those wall breakers at any point. So now it's going to be a real question about how he chooses to vary up the arrows versus the Skarmy versus the Goblin, versus the Skeleton King as time goes on.
Yeah, I would say Wallace most likely is going to be having a Fireball and a Log. That's how this deck usually works. I can't remember if he's used either of those cards previously in this duel, though. So you never know. Could be seeing like
well, he
some
ran
arrows
Graveyard last game with Poison. I don't remember if there was another spell in that one. And then game number 1, he ran the E-Giant NATO.
Yeah, and with Rocket, so I think Fireball Log is available for him here.
Skeleton King goes to pick up that Drill, but Fire Spirit puts a little chip damage in, 21-17. So far, Wallace's tower's untouched.
Yeah, that's the thing about Drill is it's just, you know, very similar to Miner. It is so consistent, but also requires such a major response every single time because of how much potential damage it can put out. And then, yeah, I mean, Sub does have the arrows, which, like you said, it works very well against the Dark God, the Skarmy, and the Wall Breakers. But that's the thing, you need it for all three of those things. So you have to choose, like, do you want to take damage from the Dark God sometimes, or the Wall Breakers, or do you ever want to actually connect with your Miner versus the Skarmy?
I don't love the minions version of this deck. Just because I like it when this deck is fast, especially in triple elixir, and that feels like it's a slower version of it, but we'll see how Sub can make it work for him. And the Inferno Tower right onto the mortar, and now just trying to pressure opposite way. Sub just trying to find ways to maybe get a bit of a slip up, or maybe try to get Wallace's cycle uncomfortable if he can.
Yeah, absolutely. I just don't see how Sub can win this. Like we said, arrowsing the Wall Breakers here, but now Skarmy is just going to get mad value on defense. And the biggest difference between the decks here is the fact that Wallace does have that big spell. So even if Sub does somehow find a way to get like a mortar connection for some damage here, the Fireball is going to do a great job of just basically continuing to hold on to that damage advantage.
That was a nice little sequence there for Sub, though. It does put him back in the game. 23-27, and trying to vary up how he defends the Wall Breakers. This time, Fireball does eat them up. Wall Breakers not able to get through. But we've seen some various different looks defensively out of Sub for those Wall Breakers. We've seen him use obviously the Skarmy or the arrows for them. We've seen him use the Dart Goblin. We've seen him use the Mortar. We've seen him now use the Minion Horde. So now it's about trying to, I guess, really trying to read what's in cycle for Wallace spell-wise and figure out what's going to create the best opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the other thing is just being unpredictable, right? So you're always countering the win conditions in separate or different ways. Always make it difficult for your opponent to predict you. Speaking of prediction,
yeah, wow,
look at that.
That cannon cart was beautiful out of Sub, but can it turn into anything? 30 seconds left. Wallace does have a slight lead here, but a lot of pressure in their right-hand lane. Mortar down. Skelly King does pop ability. Did Mortar get the lock? No, it didn't. Valk did pick up, but 1984. Pushing on the left-hand side. Now Miner gets on tower. Skarmy going to get picked up by Skarmy. Mortar not going to turn to the tower. Fireball at the bridge. Arrows won't be enough. He needs the arrows and Miner. He has to get Miner on right now. Dark Goblin trying to break through. The Dark Goblin connects. The Dark Goblin connects. Oh my word. Sub pulls the rug out from under Wallace and puts him on the mat.
I did not expect that at all. That was great. Yeah, so I was actually wrong about the Fireball log. So sometimes this deck from Wallace does have Fireball log. In this situation, he had the Fireball Fire Spirit. And we could see, like, the MVP of that match was the Dark Goblin from Sub. Not having that small spell for that Dark Goblin, it just wiped everything off the map. Every single time Wallace used something on defense, the Dark Goblin took it out, and he just kept running Wallace thinner and thinner on Elixir until eventually that Dark Goblin connects. I think that was a mistake from Wallace. Like, you do need to get that drill down to ensure that you, like, get some damage, potentially, because you were falling behind, especially with that Miner connecting. But you also need to have not only the Elixir, but the reaction time for that Dark Goblin. I think he had the Elixir down. He just could not get the Wall Breakers down in time since he was focusing just temporarily for that slight second to get the Drill plus Fire Spirit combo on the left there.
And then that was the end right here. We go, the end right here. And this is where things get interesting because he just kind of loses control of the middle of the board. You saw it happen with the Mortar. You saw it happen with the Dark Goblin. And when he lost control of the bridge fight there in the last 30 seconds or so, that was just the end of the match overall. So GG's to Sub for keeping the pressure on and turning this from lemons into lemonade, I guess.
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing there that also was kind of the precursor to that big connection was the arrows. Like, he was able to hit two things with the arrows. And that was another mistake from Wallace there. Like, you never want to give that much arrows value. Once Sub was able to hit the Dark Gob, the opposing Dark Gob, and the Skarmy with that one arrows, it allowed him to continually press that advantage with his Dark Gobs and the Mortars, like you said.
So GG's to Sub, who takes out a pretty big name there in Wallace. And that's not quite the last opportunity for Wallace, because there is still Royale Masters, where we can have a chance to get a ticket before we get into our big summer series. But at the moment, done with this journey.
Yeah, shout out to that one guy in the chat that said that Sub had a 0% chance of winning, by the way.
Yeah. Shout out. He ate those. Shivam asking, who was that 0% guy? Over on YouTube. Dart Goblin Supremacy saying, Ame Bilal. Is that Juicy? That's what it says below him. So I'm going to go ahead and guess that that's who he is. Hey, Sub gets a dub, man. You know what it's about. All right, so lots of love here. Tumas saying, Rich, do you and Juicy think it's good or bad that the players don't see what an unrevealed, unplayed card they've had? Yeah, I think they should see it. I guess I don't know why they made that choice. Maybe it's because they're going, hey, if you can win without revealing a card, maybe it's strategic or something, but I do think you should see all the cards that your opponent had in their deck. That's my thought. But also, like, I guess if in real situations, you wouldn't see that, right? If you're playing without this mode, unless the API kicked in quickly enough, your analyst might not see that 8th card. So it's actually not that different than what was happening before in some ways.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a really interesting question. I can't give an answer to that right now. I'd have to think about it. There's so many complicated things like that can come from literally just one card being unrevealed.
Here we go. Ian and Tico coming up next. This is one of the big ones. Ian, one of the all-time greats with Hog Rider, probably without question, I would say the best Hog EQ player of all time. And Tico has had his runs with Mortar. I don't know what else he plays really as a ladder player, but I know certainly a guy who's leaned on Mortar in the past.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the thing about these players, though, right? Like they might have that one deck which they are by far the best at, which as an opposition, like you always have to be watching out for that one deck. But at the same time, to get to this point, you have to be so good at so many different decks. So yeah, I'm sure he could play anything on ladder, but here we go.
And Ian certainly has varied up his game, not just for competitive, but Ian has a nicely growing channel on YouTube, where at first he was just making Hog EQ videos, but you know, as any YouTuber knows, you eventually gotta mix things up. So Ian has varied up his gameplay, not just for competitive, but also for his YouTube channel, which just passed 90,000 subscribers. So Ian77 on YouTube, go ahead, check him out if you want to see some top-tier gameplay and get him up to 100,000.
Yeah, I love his videos. Not only is it top-tier gameplay, but he does such a great job of explaining when and /why, like he's doing certain things, and there's definitely a lot to be learned from. But yeah, speaking of his one-trick deck, looks like we're actually seeing a Giant Skelly Hog EQ mirror match right now. This will be fascinating.
This will certainly be interesting, as this version of Hog EQ has become more popular. Interesting how much more popular Giant Skeleton has become as well.
Yeah, Giant Skeleton's so good in this meta. I really like Ian's idea here to block at the bridge with his own Giant Skelly. Just basically preparing for the fact if Tico did go for a Hog Rider, that he would have been in a spot where it would go in front, it'd be easier to counter. Ian's in kind of a damage hole right now in this mirror matchup, just taking a couple of hog hits at the start there from an aggressive push from Tico. Here comes another hog.
I'm wondering if Tico is also playing Bomb Tower here. That is one of the interesting parts about this deck from Ian.
Yeah, so for some reason we've seen a lot of Bomb Tower in this deck in this tournament. I'm not sure why. Like, Cannon is definitely the card of choice when it comes to ladder or anything else really, but in this tournament we've seen a lot of Bomb Tower. I'm not sure if it's because of consistency's sake. I would definitely say that it is the superior building in this mirror matchup, just because it is so tanky.
Great job there by Ian to break on through. Really solid sequencing, getting the hog to push to the outside of all those troops, with the Archer Queen looking at the wrong troop for part of that bridge fight. And that's an interesting situation there. We didn't see a building response out of Tico, and there we go. Now the Bomb Tower is down. Still the lead for the Brazilian as we go into the final 23 seconds. Gets his hog down 1398 to 1716, and just nothing there for Ian to defend with. I think he might have lagged out there a little bit. That has to be what that is. With that, I mean, was he too low on elixir, or did he lag out? I didn't see the elixir.
He must have lagged. He had enough elixir. Yeah, must have been lag. I can't think of anything else. And then yeah, we're seeing what I was talking about earlier here. Like the bomb tower is just so tanky. Like an earthquake can fully kill a cannon, like on its own, even before the hog can get there. But the bomb tower just survives for so long, makes that defense very easy for Tico here.
Yeah, Marty's saying he had 67 elixir, so he must have lagged out then. That's why we see the Gur and the late bomb tower out of Ian. And
yeah, I just don't see Tico losing this game anymore.
The hog does get a shot though on the right hand side. Can Ian doesn't have the elixir there, too late. Tico does take the win. GG, well played.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there must have been some lag there. I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, I mean, the question is, was it lag or drop glitch? I don't think, was there a weird log behind tower beforehand?
So what happened was he had enough elixir. Maybe he didn't have the bomb tower back in cycle, but he went for the log to push the hog off the tower and then got his bomb tower down. I think his bomb tower was in cycle after he played the fire spirit though. So I would have to say it would be lag, because a drop glitch wouldn't make it so you can't play anything for that long. He literally let the hog get all the way to the tower before he played a card.
Well, here we go. We went from a hog EQ mirror match to a pair of big, giant, beefy cards. And
yeah, I've been playing E-Giant Ladder recently, and I don't know, it's always fun to see it in these tournaments, because like you said, like we haven't seen it until we've seen this format. But there's just so much E-Giant right now. Oh my gosh! Wow. I mean, this Gold Knight ability is just, there's no words I can say to describe how I feel about that. That was insane. But yeah, I mean, this matchup's pretty good for E-Giant here, I would say. But really, really bad start for Ian right now.
You can imagine what kind of the tilt is going on with Ian after that, losing that last game with the lag.
Oh yeah,
he was behind already for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, just lag and then almost coming back after you lost that much damage, and then you hop in this next game and this Gold Knight just hits every single card that you have on the map.
And Mitch K with a good point here that all players are responsible for their own Wi-Fi, their own connection. So,
oh, absolutely,
it's always unfortunate. It is in these remote competitions. It's part of the story. And this has been a nice recovery here from Ian so far. He's got himself back in the game. And I think he can defend pretty well from here forward.
Yep. Kind of wasting one elixir on the Gold Knight dash there. The biggest question I have is, what spell does Ian have? For big spell, I mean. Because it's going to make a big difference whether it's a lightning or rocket. If he does have rocket, he should be in rocket's tornado range. Yeah, 446 plus 58. Yep, that's definitely rocket tornado range. E-Giant might end up just connecting though.
And one reflection does get in, so that is rocket range. That's also going to be lightning range here, I believe, at tourney standard.
Yeah, at the very most or very least, it's going to be lightning NATO range. Tico goes for his lightning. Ian might have this in the bag right now.
And there goes the rocket. Ian able to stay in it. No, the Golden Knight connects. The Golden Knight gets in there just in time, but you have to imagine now that Ian has the advantage in this two-tower game.
Yeah, I would say he does. Like having mirror E-Giants in two-tower game is definitely really good. Especially since Tico's only building is the Tombstone, or only E-Giant counter. I really like the play from Ian to push this E-Giant forward really quickly with that Gold Knight dash, and the bomber on the right here to snipe out this Tombstone. Now we have two pretty healthy E-Giants. Wow, what a nice tornado as well. Ian's going all in right now. He's like, I'm going to take your tower before this golem reaches mine.
Brawler going to work. Golden Knight comes back. That's actually great for Ian. Gives him some more cycle time here as well. He might go E-Giant in the pocket. And there he goes on the defensive pocket E-Giant. Does not pick up and defend those troops, though.
He's got the defensive E-Giant here, but a mirrored offensive E-Giant might be happening soon.
And there you go.
This tower is not down to mirrored rocket range quite yet, so he needs another connection here. Question is, can Tico defend? It's going to be difficult. Wow, the prediction Golden Knight at the top here, getting onto that tombstone, and another E-Giant in the pocket. This level 13 E-Giant still alive, though. There's one reflection hit. Tico's pouring every ounce of elixir he has into this defense right now, but Ian is in mirror rocket range now.
Wow.
And there they go.
GG, well played. Ian goes through pretty much every emotion possible in that one, and now we go to game number 3. So Hog EQ on both sides, game number 1. Lightning, EQ, Log, and NATO out for Tico. On Ian's side, Rocket, NATO, and then, of course, EQ Log out as well. And let's see what Tico's going to here in game number 3. It's a bait variant out of Ian. And
no
Dark
rocket
Prince first card down for
available.
Tico.
No rocket available for Ian, so maybe we're going to be seeing a mirror instead of the rocket?
And Minor Loon.
Yeah, this is interesting. Dark Prince, Minor Loon. It's always fun to see how the players get creative in the last game of in a best of 3 for duels formatting.
Not in love with that zap out of Tico there, with the Dark Goblin already on the board. No way of getting that balloon on tower, but
you did get the death damage at the very least. Every single death damage hit is going to be important here, and kind of a going against bait. Like whenever you're going against bait, you need every ounce of damage that you can get. Tico with the zap plus arrows though. I mean, not bad, not a bad spell combo when you're going against bait here. Zap just does not get that much value other than versus the Inferno though.
What's the Fisherman? What's his role in this deck out of Tico?
So Tico hasn't used Giant Skeleton, right? No, he did. I don't know. Because usually this deck from Tico... Oh, you know what I think? I think it's Roll Recruits. I think it's Roll Recruits Loon. The reason why I use the Fisherman is to basically just pull in like ranged units or like glass cannons. Like in this case, it'd be like the Dark Goblin. He's looking to like basically pull in the Dark Goblin. He has the arrows for it as well, though. Oh, no. Mega Knight instead. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, usually this deck runs Giant Skelly. Like it's a Giant Skelly Loon Fisherman deck. But no Giant Skelly available. He has the Mega Knight instead. Wow, I think Ian's just losing his power, though.
Wow, that was the first zap I thought was a little bit sus. This one does get it done. And Ian's dramatic comeback, certainly in a ton of trouble here, playing bait with 47 seconds left.
Yeah, and then also with Rocket not being available, having Poison here instead, it's just not enough damage. And Tico has so many options for defense. He's got the Mega Knight, he's got the Hunter, which is good Goblin Barrel counter. He's got the arrows, and he has a Dark Prince, which can fully counter barrel once charged up. And here comes the Hunter, as I said. A zap just to make sure.
Very nice zap Hunter. Wow, so far some of the favorites in Wallace and Ian going out early here on day 2.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to look at Twitter later and see how what was up with that first game from Ian there. I kind of feel bad, but like you said, all players are responsible for their own connection, I guess. Tico's going to advance.
And maybe they'll give us a look here at the bracket in a moment. We can get an idea of what our next matchups are going to be. I know some of you have the Nightbot show on the bracket out there on the Twitch side of things. We are co-streaming here on both Twitch and YouTube. And if you are watching the stream and haven't yet, if you're on Twitch, go ahead and throw a follow. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. We are currently at 81,000 and change in subscribers. Trying to make that road to 100K. And here we go. This is game number 1. This is already after the game was pretty much over. And this is just shutting things down here on Tico's side.
I was thinking to myself right and then when that hog got a hit, I was like, if Ian like wins this game, that would be the most impressive comeback I've ever seen in a hog EQ mirror. But he just wasn't not able to get that bomb tower down in time.
And there was the crazy finish, and not the crazy finish, but the crazy end of regulation, and then Ian able to double rocket his way out of this, and we want to go on to game number 3. And this was just rough. They're a half-second late, but a really nice zap to retarget the tower, I believe, off of the Mega Knight onto the Dark Prince. Mega Knight leaps, and that's just a world of pain on that right-hand side.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing there on the defense there is Ian just was not able to get those guards down in time for the surround on the Mega Knight. So, like, once that jump animation starts happening, all the guards just got obliterated by that jump. If you can get the surround there with the guards, I think he has a nice chance to be able to defend with the guards Dark Gob combo. There's so much DPS there. Yeah, just once that Mega Knight started that jump animation, I think that defense was over. The zap was definitely the icing on the cake, though, for the retarget to allow that Mega Knight to stay alive and get on the tower as well.
And I did see someone say my dono didn't get seen over on YouTube. If you did, my apologies. A little busy here with a couple of these ones, but I do certainly do appreciate the support, and I guess I try to answer your question if you have it. Madi saying that it was drop glitch. We'll see. Who knows? Mirror seems quite strong nowadays, says Thomas. Do you think that Mirror is, I'm thinking about like the way the meta has shifted, right? EQ getting nerfed. E-Giant is now insane. Of course, the pump with Mirror is just silly.
Yeah.
Do you think Mirror is the biggest problem in the meta right now?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, a lot of people point fingers at E-Giants or... but like honestly, if you think about how E-Giant would be without Mirror, it's not even that bad. Like it's not that overpowered. It's the Mirror is definitely the biggest problem, but it's also not because of the Mirror. It's the Mirror when it's combined with champions. The fact that you can't mirror a champion, and you can basically play a card, play a champ, and then mirror the card that you played previously. Like it's just a broken mechanic. It's almost like an exploit. So yes, I would say Mirror is the biggest problem in the meta, but it's also how it interacts with other cards in the game, more specifically the champs and the E-Giant.
So here we go. Coming up next, Adriel versus Luminary. And of course, I don't know what their votes are going to be. You'll be getting those command votes in there fairly soon. And we did, of course, see what Oshawott was trying to make sure got in there, was that he apparently is really into you, Juicy. So congratulations.
I saw that. Love you too, man. Who you got your bets on here in this match, Rich?
I don't know much about Luminary, to be honest. Adriel's been great for a long time, and it really, he was one of those guys at the end of last season, and people were asking about this one here. End of last season, a lot of people were saying that Adriel was one of the next big rookies to have a breakout year, and it looked like it was going to be the case, and then he's been really kind of quiet so far here in 2022, so very interesting.
If I had to bet, I would say Adriel. If I remember correctly, like Luminary is a great player. I remember specifically casting one of the Brenchong events. He actually knocked Molite into the losers bracket at one point. But from what I've seen today, or from this tournament, I've seen some misplays and some potential nerves coming out from Luminary. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, I definitely, once again, I think this could go either way here.
Let me see. I've never tried this before. This method that I use to bring chat on screen, I believe it's also usable for Twitter. So I'm going to see if I can go potentially find what Ian has said on Twitter, and we'll see if maybe I can get that up for you guys.
A little real-time drama action. I like it.
No, nothing as of late.
So looking at this matchup, we have what looks to be Adriel with a I believe it's got to be like a mortar deck. Maybe it could be even more graveyard if I had to guess. Against Luminary using this this very common RG Skelly King. Matchup wise here, it's kind of tough. I would say that the Luminary does have a pretty good matchup just because he does have that lightning. The lightning can get a lot of value versus the Arch Queen and the Cannon card, but at the same time doesn't give very much value versus the Zappies. There's the mortar like I was talking about. Graveyard's definitely in this deck here as well. The other thing that could really give Luminary an edge is a King Tower activation, whether it be versus, I mean, Valkyrie's your only option, I guess. You have to try and get a King Tower activation versus the Valkyrie with the Fisherman. If you can do that, you automatically win the game. Yeah, but it's going to be really tough to pull off. Obviously, Adriel is never going to kind of let a full health Valkyrie be crossing the lane on her own. Always going to be pairing it with the Graveyard so that the Fisherman gets distracted. Yeah, I guess the other biggest thing here to note is Luminary with the lightning here, like he does have the big spell, right? So the big spell is always important because once he gets the triple elixir, just cycling lightnings can be a very viable form of just a winning condition, basically. Here comes the mortar. We'll probably see a graveyard here from Adriel as well, maybe? Maybe he doesn't want to be too aggressive. Lightning on the cannon cart mortar.
Here we go into sudden death overtime. And sets up the tombstone behind Princess Tower, does Luminary.
That's an interesting tombstone. Like, I do like it. This tombstone placement is very good versus Graveyard. Luminary realizes his opponent has a Graveyard here. Tombstone is also one of the best counters versus the mortar, though. So by playing it back there, you definitely can decrease your chances. And the Mother Witch comes down. I totally forgot. Why did I forget about the Mother Witch? Mother Witch is so good for Luminary right now. Obviously, one of the best counters of Graveyard. But not only do you counter the Graveyard well, but you also get crazy counter pushes. But we can see here, like, both of these players are going to have a hard time, or an easy time defending each other. Luminary did get a lot of damage with that RG, though. I'm surprised the Zappies didn't come down. You always have to use Zappies on defense versus a Lightning deck. Because, I mean, yeah, they just provide so much value.
Here we are, final minute approaching, minute 5 for 3 seconds remaining. And see if the results of this vote here between Adriel and Luminary coming up fairly soon. Valk high to protect, and so far lead for Luminary. Graveyard getting some damage here, though, and that's a nice snowball to now give Adriel the lead with 45 seconds left.
Yeah, that's the one nice thing about the Arrows Snowball combo, is it can clean out those Mother Witches. If you can somehow, some way, like keep that in cycle or keep that combo and save it for the Mother Witch, I would definitely say he has a chance to win this. It's hard though, because if you're always arrowsing and snowballing the Mother Witch, then the tombstones can get a lot of value. Just basically blocking these lanes and helping on the defense. Looks like Adriel.
Mortar
yeah,
high.
Sorry. I was just saying he was actually able to outcycle the Mother Witch there. So he was able to actually get a lot of damage.
And take a look at that. Adriel able to take care and get the win here. Mother Witch just not on the board when necessary. And that one big snowball arrows play did get a lot of the damage needed. And once he got the lead, didn't give it up. So game number 1 goes to Adriel Luminary on the chopping block.
Yeah, I just would say the biggest mistake from Luminary there was the placement of the Mother Witch. When you place it in the corner versus the Graveyard, it makes it so much easier for Adriel to get that quick arrow snowball because he doesn't have to worry about activating the King Tower. The correct placement you want to be using there is actually right behind your King. You can still get the snowball arrows, but it's much harder. And yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, there's 50k on the line. Like, there are a lot of nerves. Like, who knows? Maybe Adriel misclicks and you get a King Tower activation. And once you're in that spot, you can just lightning cycle and just be very aggressive because the King Tower is so good on defense versus the Graveyard.
Seen a lot of you asking, where's Morton, where's Muhammad Light, where are those guys? This specific cup, we did have the ESL Snapdragon Pro Series for Europe, Middle East, and North Africa. This is the LATAM North America version. So this is for South Central and North America. their specific golden ticket event. So you will not be seeing Morton or Mohammed Light or any of those players from that region in this one today and tomorrow.
So what do we have for the matchup here? We got a drill mirror match. Drill mortar. You don't really see that much. Usually mortar is paired with miner for whatever reason. Drill is obviously definitely a really good in this deck as well. And then from Adriel, I guess we're just seeing a kind of a interesting drill variation as well. I don't really recognize either of these decks. Just a drill kind of control with the bomb tower instead of the cannon, maybe the guards instead of the skellies from the kind of quote-unquote normal deck. Magic Archer here as well. I like the Magic Archer in this deck. Whenever you put a Magic Archer in a deck, not only does it provide value, just generally, but it also acts as a secondary win condition. Can definitely get a lot of damage from it sometimes.
And that's one of those big things, is that secondary win condition so many times when, if your main win condition is countered or shut down, having that as another option is really huge as well.
Yeah. Luminary does have the Fireball and the roll delivery for that Magic Archer, though. But you know, you always have to watch out, because even if you do Fireball the Magic Archer, even if it gets 1 or 2 shots, like that's just, it's always a couple, chip damage, and that chip damage always kind of adds up throughout the match.
And here we go. Final 25 seconds. Mortar's up. Does Luminary. Bomb tower to cover. Nice fireball there. The Magic Archer and Bomb Tower a little bit close together.
Yeah. But once again, Bomb Tower just so tanky. Still somehow, some way able to solo that mortar after the big old ball of fire lands on it. I think the champs choices are interesting here. Like, we don't see a whole lot of Mighty Miner. It's definitely a really good choice in this kind of Golden Knight meta. It is one of the best counters to Golden Knight. Kind of a really aggressive Magic Archer on the right there. We did see a quick Fireball from Luminary, but once again, even with the Fireball coming down, it still was able to get 1 shot. And if you can do that a couple times throughout the match, you're going to be able to press that damage lead.
Man, Adriel's just keeping these bomb towers cycled so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pick up on both sides with the mortar on one end and the Golden Knight on the other. Can Luminary get around fast enough to find a way through with 80 seconds left in the game?
Yeah, I would say in order to win this game, he's going to need a mortar connection. I mean, we've seen what mortar can do in the final stages of the game previously here. Let's see if he can do the same in this match. Get a couple mortars down the middle of the map. Try and get that field control. Try and apply that pressure. But it looks like Adriel is just going to have a fantastic defense. Not only that, but he's... Wow, that bomb was so good. So valuable. By keeping the Mighty Miner alive,
oh my word!
3-card cycle.
Oh my word! Mighty Miner all over that left-hand tower. Whoa. Goodbye. And man, Luminary, I guess, just forgot what that drill does. And
yeah.
GG, well played. Adriel just slaughters that left-hand side.
Yep. I don't know. I'm not sure if he had the Ice Spear in hand. That was your only option there on the left. GG's. I think Adriel played just really well that match. Like, he just controlled the game, and he cycled the drills. He used the Mighty Miner. He used the bomb in order to take out certain things, get like some decent value, killing some musketeers, killing some guards, but also just like having that 3-card cycle enabled. I would say Mighty Miner is the best champ at keeping the 3-card cycle enabled, because if he ever gets in danger, you can always just use that ability, swap into the other lane, and that way you can get more drills, more bomb towers, more wall breakers, whatever you might need. And then, I mean, who would have thunk it? He's going to finish off the tower as well.
You think about the ability with Mighty Miner first in some cases, but or with I'd say that with most of the of our champions, you think about the ability first, right? You think about that with Golden Knight, with the dash, with Skelly King trying to get those Skellies and pop them big, and of course the Archer Queen's ability. Really, with Mighty Miner, that drill is the more dangerous aspect than the ability.
Absolutely, yeah. The ability is just use in order to get that drill into the right place, right? Most of the time. And that's the other thing about the Mighty Miners, like he isn't like a threat as like an Arch Queen is, or a Gold Knight, like, or even a Skeleton, like you said, generally with their abilities, but he's always something you have to counter. He's always something you have to think of. So if you're so focused on defending like the drills, even a half health Mighty Miner, it has so much health, you always have to delegate some sort of elixir, some sort of counter, or else it's gonna get on your tower and it's gonna drop it like it's made of like sandpaper.
I'm gonna bring this back up on the screen one more time. Tumas asking, how fast does the Mighty Miner charge up compared to the Inferno Dragon? And Juicy, you know the answer to that one.
Yeah, I would say the Inferno Dragon, the Inferno Tower, and the Mighty Miner, they all have the same charge up timers. So they're trying to keep it consistent, which is good. I like that, keeping it consistent. I would say it seems like the Mighty Miner can charge up a little bit quicker. Generally just because it is a little bit different. Like when the Mighty Miner charges up, you don't have a visual like change really. With the Mighty or the Inferno Dragon and the Inferno Tower, you can actually see the pulse of the Inferno like laser actually like get bigger. But with the Mighty Miner, it's very hard to tell when he is getting to that next stage of damage, if that makes sense.
It's very subtle by comparison. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree with that one. And it does seem like it goes faster though. I don't know if it's that it ramps up, if it's like more, if it's, you know, the Inferno Tower has Inferno Dragon has 3 stages, whereas the Miner ramps. Maybe that's part of it, but man, yeah, it does feel like it seems so much scarier to have a Mighty Miner on your tower than an Inferno Dragon for some reason.
Yeah, that's true.
And here we go. Surg TS
versus...
and Lucas.
Yeah, it looks like we're hopping into the winner's bracket now, which is cool. You asked me at the beginning who I thought was going to get the golden ticket. I put my money on Lucas. Let's see if I'm right here or not.
Testfay on the YouTube channel, common viewer saying Surge about to upset. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I did put my money on Lucas, but I mean, you can never count Surg TS. Like, he's so, like, when I was watching him yesterday, he's just so confident and calm and collected. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see him winning this game for sure.
And let's see, 2Pro CR has been asking a bunch of different questions, and one of them here, how do you join these tournaments? Asking to Juicy J. Well, I can tell you. You can go to esports.clashroyale.com to find tournament information for upcoming events. The last remaining tournament before we get into our big in-game event, which starts in early August with the 20-win challenge, is going to be Royale Masters, which still has some qualifiers and the last chance qualifier available for a shot at that golden ticket event. So Royale Masters, I believe next Saturday, Sunday, is the last chance qualifier weekend for you to get a shot at that one.
What do you say, Rich? Are you going to give it a shot? Try and qualify?
I am going to next weekend take my first weekend off in a very, very long time.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea. You deserve it, man.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Gameplay is just absolutely stimulating here.
Well, I'm gonna guess one of them has Golem, maybe. You know, it used to be like we've gone through this phases where it was like this guaranteed like Golem, Lava Hound beatdown, and then it was like, hey, maybe there is nothing big, and then now I think we're back in that phase again.
I mean, I can definitely see Lucas like having a graveyard deck here, or lava. It could be graveyard or lava mirror matchup. Still could be either with the tombstone. Zappies is definitely graveyard. So yeah, like you said, generally it is a beatdown. Or if you're waiting this long, it's like a counter push oriented deck where you want your opponent to make the first play so you can defend and counter push. And that's what graveyard is all about. And yeah, that's why Lucas was waiting this long. I think I would say that Lucas has a pretty solid matchup here. He has the Inferno Drag for the lava. He's got the Fireball plus Airballs combo, which is so good. You can just Fireball like either the Flying Machine or the Skelly Drags, whatever you pick, and then you can always use your arrows to clean up lava pups. And then on the other hand, with the spells, like spell is so important in this game, Surg TS just only has arrows. So that's going to mean that the zappies are able to get so much value as well in defense.
You see that fireball in, and this should be pretty close. And look at this Inferno. Okay, that Inferno Dragon on the left-hand side, this is the thing too, is I think the HP difference of the Inferno Dragon and the Mighty Miner. That if that was a Mighty Miner, that would have done like a third of the tower damage. Yeah,
absolutely. That's what I was saying. Like, it just has so much health. You always need to delegate a response to a Mighty Miner because even though, like, it's kind of misleading with his health bar. By the way, Lucas didn't take a single hit point of damage that game. That was wild.
And Surg TS is kind of being like, oh, hey, hold on. I like it. The players who actually do acknowledge the camera. I definitely prefer it to the players who shyly pretend like it's not there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, definitely makes it more fun to watch, that's for sure. I wonder what this matchup's going to be. Are we going to see another wait till double time? No way, right? Okay. Log from Lucas. Probably, you know, it could be anything. Could be Hog, could be Mortar, could be Miner. There's the Miner. Golden Knight from Surge. I mean, I would say probably, if I had to guess, it'd be either E-Giant or Drill Bridge Fam. I'd say Drill Bridge Fam is more likely here. Wow, okay, never mind.
Wow. Okay.
That's aggressive.
That's a thing that happened on screen.
Yeah. This might be the first time we've seen Sparky in this tourney for a while. Or, like, generally the Sparky is not used competitively. It is pretty matchup dependent. But, I mean, Goblin Giant, Bats, Rage, Bridge, taking a lot of damage here. Maybe kind of starting handed to Lucas. Looks like Lucas did not have his building in his first 4 or first 7 cards even. Here comes the Mortar.
Gotta say, I really do like the new panel, the new artwork for the mini P.E.K.K.A. I think it's fun. Yep. People are not happy with the new artwork.
Yeah, I'm one of those.
Like change.
Well, I mean, I don't mind change, but like, I don't know. I played this game 6.5. I mean, okay, maybe I don't like change. I've played this game for 6.5 years, and that mini pack has been there the whole time, and they've changed it. I miss him.
Exactly. You don't like change. I think the new Valkyrie picture is better than the old Valkyrie picture.
Yeah, I like the new Valkyrie one. I like that one.
So here we go. First 2 minutes down, and lead for Surg TS. It's going to be interesting. I mean, what does Lucas have to do in this matchup to get back in?
So, honestly, I do think Lucas has a pretty good matchup. Like, he does have the Mortar, which is so good on defense versus, like, Sparky pushes. He's got the Poison. He's got the Giant Skelly and guards. Yeah, just, like, Surg TS just kind of starting-handed him. In order to come back, Lucas needs, I don't know, he needs to have some very solid defense. He needs to not take any more damage. And he needs to take this poison value as much as he can. He needs to kind of cycle miners throughout the match. And then just get to triple elixir. Once you get to triple elixir, then you're going to be able to basically use that Archer Queen for the 3-card cycle and just spam miners poisons like there's no tomorrow. Here's that Mortar I was talking about. Just so good at just cleaning up the Sparkies, like kind of, and also just like pulling in the Gob Giants.
Here we go, spamming those poisons, as you said. Let's see if he can get more of that one done, but loading up. Golden Knight Dash not going to get to tower, though. Nice zap to reset here, but the Skeleton King gets down, and that's a bit of a wasted rage on a Surg TS.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's wasted. That entire Giant Skeleton is gone now. Preventing that counter push is important. Ooh, really kind of unfortunate on the right there. Just barely not being able to survive. If you do keep that Queen alive there, you have the ability to have that 3-card cycle and get another miner down a little bit quicker.
Nice coverage there.
I'm not sure about guards. Like, the guards are like one of the best counters to Sparky, but like it definitely slows your cycle down. It's gonna make it a lot harder for Lucas to come back.
And the shot gets in on the left-hand side.
Wow.
Golden Knight will touch tower on the right-hand side as well. Here's the big counter push opportunity, but this isn't a big counter push deck necessarily. You kind of have to hope that your opponent makes a mistake to get counter push damage as opposed to chip damage.
Yeah. I like the time on the miner there, going down as soon as Sparky shoots the giant skelly to get a couple chip shots. It is triple elixir. The queen is on the board. Lucas needs to do what I said earlier and get as many miner poisons down as possible, but Surge is doing a great job of just applying pressure here.
And don't miss Golden Knight dashes, maybe also is a big part of that one as well.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you there. Having these guards on the right.
Yeah, doesn't get a shot.
Or does not get a shot. 17 seconds left. And yeah, it's just not enough. You just... I mean, with this sort of deck, it's so defensive oriented. It's so defensive oriented. So Surg TS will take that one.
All right, here we go. Game number 3 on its way. This is the upper bracket, the winner's bracket. So no player on the chopping block here. Both players have that life to give, but certainly we have seen how valuable staying in that winner's bracket is in these tournaments. Very rare that the lower bracket player comes back and wins both of those matchups to win the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, game 3. So we've seen Lava, we've seen Mortar, we've seen Sparky. What did Lucas play in the first game? He played Graveyard Inferno Dragon. So I guess we're going to see maybe some drills here. Maybe a drill and an E-Giant from what I can see here. Drill from Surg TS, E-Giant from Lucas, since we see the cage. Mega Minion, yep. Yeah, I would say, I mean, it could be Golem here from Lucas, but I'd say E-Giant's definitely a lot more likely. If it does end up being E-Giant, yes. With Mother Witch, definitely E-Giant. I definitely think Surg TS has a really good matchup here. Generally, Drill does pretty well versus E-Giant, because you got the Inferno Tower, which just is probably the best E-Giant counter. But if they somehow do out-cycle or take out your Inferno Tower, then you just can play a Drill defensively.
And pick up high on that Golden Knight dash as the mirrored Mother Witch comes out.
Okay, yeah, we saw this yesterday. Generally, this version of E-Giant does not run a mirror. It's more beatdown oriented, but the mirror comes out, which is going to be interesting. It definitely makes this deck a lot better, in my opinion, having the mirror. But look how much damage that Magic Archer gets.
Yeah, Magic Archer just shredding that right-hand side. A little bit of a counter push here for Lucas will force out some sort of response.
I was so focused on this right-hand side. But did you see how much damage that level 13 Mother Witch did on the left? That was insane.
Yeah, that is kind of nutty. Golden Knight might dash here just to clean that up, and it does. So here we go. Double Elixir on its way. Right now, the lead for Surg TS here in this defining matchup.
Wow, mirrored Mother Witches on defense. That's just not... It's not going to cut it. A lot of damage comes through. It is double Elixir, though. Lucas has one chance, really, and it starts now. But
how does he defend here, though?
Surg TS?
No, how does Lucas defend here?
I mean, he can't. You can defend the drill. Like, this tower is going to go down at some point. The biggest problem here with this push, in my opinion, is that you didn't have the mirror in cycle when he played the E-Giant, so he couldn't have the option to go for the mirrored E-Giant. Missing the tornado, once again, like I said earlier, once you take out the Inferno, the drill comes down defense. I think Surg TS has this on lock right now. I really don't see a comeback happening. And yeah, just one fight away.
Make that official. GG, well played. Surg TS.
Wow.
With the come from behind, the reverse sweep here. He said hold on. He said wait.
He did.
And we had to. GG's.
Wow. Yeah, that was impressive. I mean, I'm surprised, genuinely. Like, it takes so much mental fortitude, mental strength to, just be able to lose that first game, just getting absolutely hard countered and just losing. And then you just come back with a reverse sweep. Like, how does one do that? Lucas literally, we're watching the replay right here. Like, he defended perfectly. Like, he had such a good matchup. Surg TS never touched the towers once. And, yeah, coming from that, just saying settle down, using Sparky Rage, which is just I mean, you don't see that every day, that's for sure. In the second game, and then Yajin third game, just the control of the drill versus E-Giant definitely clutched that up. Kind of some, I definitely see some mistakes there from Lucas though, to take that much damage earlier on. That's the thing about the mirror in this deck though. Like I was talking about earlier, like it definitely usually doesn't have mirror, and we're kind of seeing why it can make your cycle extremely awkward. Using the mirrored Mother Witch versus that one drill push, like it was definitely not the play. He took so much damage there.
All right, and I'm just going to do a double timeout here on YouTube for the argument. Just a short timeout. Go ahead, cool off, everybody. And you guys can come back and be nice in about how long a timeout lasts.
Take it to the DMs, guys.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. You know what? Take it to the ring. You guys are both Clash Royale players. Exchange your names and go ahead and BO3 each other. Yeah. Settle it with a duel. But I'm tired of the argument in my chat. So I'm happy to have you there, J-Man. You're a regular viewer. But yeah, just as always, be excellent to each other. Know what I mean? So yeah, yeah. Barnabas Owl saying, "Hey, let's make that the matchup." That would have been fun for us to have. All right, so that's our first winners bracket matchup. Let me go take a look. I know that the bracket. I wish they would show us the bracket on stream here again. But we're just going right through games. So here we go. Let's go to jump into Prestige versus Alexi. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at the bracket myself here for a moment. And as a reminder, in our elimination bracket, has this been updated? Let me go ahead and refresh here and see if they've updated it. In our elimination bracket, we've already sent home today Gweiss, Wallace, Ian, and Luminary. Now with these two, with our first loss here in the upper bracket, Surg TS sends Lucas down, who will face Adriel in elimination for our next round in the lower bracket. So that's going to be a big one. And of course, right now we have Prestige and Alexi, followed by Coka RX and Airsurfer, and then Mario Pro versus Ardentoas. So those are the upcoming upper bracket matches. And man, we are, and then I think we're going to be into, let me go ahead and take a look at our schedule for the day and double check to see what we're seeing next, because I know that they did give us the full list of matches for the day.
Yeah, looks like we're going over Prestige versus Alexi next. It's just going to kind of go in order here in the winners bracket. And then Coca versus Airsurfer, Mario versus Arden.
And then we'll eliminate 4 more players. After that, we'll do matches 9 through 12. We'll do our other elimination bracket matches. So we will be getting rid of some more people today, but not quite yet. We still have some more upper bracket action to get through.
I feel like losers bracket's the most fun to watch because, like, you know, there's a lot on the line there. That's got to be stressful. Realizing one loss is all it can take, really.
So here we go. Game number 1 of Alexi and Prestige.
Alexi looks comfortable. Sitting on the couch.
Nice leather couch.
Yeah.
Looks nice and broken in, too. We don't have a good broken in leather couch.
Nothing better, really.
Yeah, oh man. And a high mortar. Tombstone to pick up.
Wow, really interesting choice to go high mortar here in the middle. Like, there might be some analytical play coming in with this first play. Like, generally you want to play it towards the side, but it's actually working so well in this situation, maybe predicting his opponent's deck, because if you do place the mortar at the bridge rather than at the river there, the tombstone can fully counter. But when you place it right at the river there, the tombstone has a much more difficult time. It isn't able to like get those skeletons out, and even if they do get out, like the mortar will have like a higher chance of locking on and maybe splashing onto the tombstone there.
So here we go, past our first minute 15 seconds. And Miner into the back. Inferno Dragon still up. Skeleton King does go down. Inferno Dragon, though, still alive. Miner comes out on defense, doesn't get it. Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
Alexi not quite so comfortable now. You'd rather have than a leather chair is a tower that is not destroyed.
Yeah. We've seen a Mighty Miner and an Inferno Dragon take a tower so far today. And looks like Prestige is already ready with the tombstone for this mortar here. Kind of some unlucky timing with the skeletons there, just barely getting in range there. So fortunately on the Inferno Dragon as well. But since Alexi's, like, I believe Alexi's only air targeting card here is an Archer Queen, it's just very, very difficult to defend, as we already saw. Counter push wise, or like comeback wise, I think it's not looking great. Oh wow, especially with those arrows.
Oh boy. Oh boy. So
yeah, honestly, if I'm in
rough.
Alexi's, if I'm in Alexi's point of view right now, or in his shoes, like, yeah, I was gonna say, he just give up. Like, just give up, and you gotta do a full mental reset right now. You gotta pull a Surg TS. You gotta full reset, and you gotta pull off that reverse sweep. But this is the winner bracket, so you know, like I just said a minute ago, these players they always have a second chance in that loser bracket. So it's not over for him, even if he does lose his best of 3. I think that's something that you can tell yourself as well in order to continue to stay mentally strong for this next game.
I'm taking a look at this. I'm seeing some lag calls from people on the who are watching. It currently says stream health is good, but I had an error message that came in about a minute ago. Not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Let me go ahead. I'll take a look at that one and see if I can figure something out. If I can find a way to fix that problem.
So Alexi starting out with a Ice Spear and an Earthquake, so probably a Hog Earthquake. He just used Giant Skeleton though, so we might be seeing a quicker Psycho Hog Earthquake with the Ice Golem, or maybe potentially like a Royal Delivery, or a or like a Valk/Knight. Here comes the Hog. Prestige also has the Log and Earthquake, but he has the Fisherman instead. So with the Fisherman here, definitely not Hog Earthquake mirror matchup. He's got the RG. Since he has Earthquake, most likely Prestige has a Giant Skeleton. Usually Earthquake is paired with Giant Skeleton in these matches, because it's a lot easier to have enough elixir to go for a Giant Skelly RG Earthquake than it is to go for a Giant Skelly RG like Lightning or I mean, yeah, and then Lightning is the only option. Fireball is also used in RG, but it's not nearly as good in my opinion because it's very, definitely pales in comparison to the Earthquake and Lightning when it comes to like taking out buildings. So yeah, so Knight actually from Alexi using kind of a classic Hog Earthquake, classic 2.8 Hog Earthquake with Firecracker and a Tesla most likely. Here comes that Giant Skelly RG, and the Inferno Tower comes down instead of the Tesla. That's an interesting choice. It's definitely going to help him a lot here in this match. Inferno Tower, yeah, I mean, Inferno Tower is so good versus Earthquake, just because it has so much health, and it doesn't need to stay locked on to the RG for very long to just absolutely wipe it out. And yeah, I mean, yeah, as an RG player, you want to have the Lightning versus the Inferno Tower. Yeah, I mean, Alexi has a huge damage lead as well with his Hogs chipping away and the Earthquakes chipping away and everything else. Prestige just has to switch lanes there. I really like that idea because you switch lanes, makes it so that Firecracker isn't a threat. Like if you went Giant Skeleton back on the left here, the Firecracker could have potentially connected for some chip. And then also when you go, if you end up ever having the problem of a counter pushing Firecracker, then it doesn't get as much value.
All right, I am back. I don't know what the exact problem is. Not having problems on Twitch, so it might be a YouTube ingest issue. I'll keep an eye on it the best that I can, but looks like the things are okay for a moment. And we are seeing Prestige trying to counter this Hog Rider with the Fisherman. And he's the issue with trying to counter, you can fully counter Hog with Fisherman. But you have to play it 5 tiles off the bridge, and you have to essentially be hovering it when you think Hog Rider's coming down. If you aren't practically hovering it, the Hog will sneak by for one shot, which is what we're seeing most of the time.
And the other thing here is Alexi's just always pairing that Hog with a Knight, and just makes it a lot more difficult to pull with the Fisherman. There's another 2 Hog hits, and yeah, it's just GG's here. Prestige playing extremely well, and Alexi playing really well, kind of abusing the matchup there, like just playing really good offense, pairing it with the Knight, like I said, and then Yeah, just the deck choice as well with the Inferno Tower, like I said earlier, is just so good versus Giant Skelly and the RGs there. And yeah, looks like he was able to stay mentally strong, get a nice match in the next game, and all of a sudden it's 1-1. See who's going to take this best of 3 right here, right now.
Responding there. It's interesting. You know, Alexi certainly played a strong game in game number 2. Game number 1, it kind of felt like it was just discomfort. So you know, we talked about him looking comfortable in before game number 1, and then got a little bit awkward. You know, obviously we're getting into what you got left here in game number 3. What kind of picks did you make? But I did like the recovery mentally from Alexi in game 2.
So yeah, it looks like he's gonna kind of take his opponent's deck here. Looking, I mean, I would assume this is Royal Giant. Prestige coming out with some recruits. Recruits pretty popular in this meta as it counters E-Giant very well. Not to mention it is just generally pretty good in duels. With the Fireball of 8 aspect, that cannon cart locking on the left is a lot of damage from Prestige here.
Cannon cart plus Musketeer on the right-hand side, and Prestige does pick up the Royal Ghost as well. And, you know, you talk about looking down the barrel of a matchup, Juicy, and you're playing Fisherman, and you find yourself across from the 6-man.
Yeah.
Recruits certainly make that frustrating for him.
Absolutely. I think a small mistake here from Prestige, whenever you get that Mighty Miner close to the tower, it's always nice to pop that ability. 1 elixir, you get quite a bit of damage. Goes for that snowball instead, maybe trying to like predict. So I'm not sure what you're trying to predict there. Lightning from Alexi, that's pretty interesting. Definitely going to give Prestige a bit of an elixir lead right now. See how he wants to convert this small elixir lead. Maybe we might see some more recruits. Yep.
Yeah, this is Fisherman and Lightning against a Recruits deck. Recruits Graveyard deck. This feels real rough for Alexi right now.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I wonder what Prestige's last card is. If I had to guess, it'd be like arrows, maybe. Even though it is a rough matchup for Alexi, he's doing a pretty good job. Like, he is allowing his opponent to split up the damage on both sides using these lightnings, and he has the damage lead. Let's see if he can continue to hold on to that, or if he is going to fall to one of these graveyard pushes. Prestige, I mean, yeah, he doesn't have that big spell like Alexi does, but he does have an insurmountable amount of pressure. Look at this dual lane pressure. He's got recruits on both sides. He's got a cannon cart Mighty Miner. And now comes the graveyard on the right, switching it up. Barb Barrel and Hunter comes down. This poison value is amazing as well. That's the final card. Not to mention that cannon cart lock on the left side, getting so much damage on both lanes. Meanwhile, Alexi's just never able to find the right time to get the RG down, because these cages are so good. You need a really good counter push from Alexi if he actually wants to win this game. Decides to cycle another lightning on the cannon card though.
Cannon cart down low. Royal Giant might be just. Nope, does turn to the cannon cart. Unfortunate there for Alexi. Snowball to slow spread and let that Mighty Miner do its job.
Wow, that worked way better than I thought it would be.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, it was. What a great Barb Barrel from Alexi here as well. The small spells from these players are on point. The Graveyard getting so much damage. Tower retargets that one recruit, and that's all it takes. Just 1 second, and just 2 Larrys on the back end of the tower. Gonna make quick work, and yeah, the cannon cart plus cage on defense. It's hard to break through that. It's like 2 buildings.
Looking like GG's. Saying that snowball explains his win rate. Yeah, that snowball on defense was absolute fire. Alexi just lightnings the tower. Knows he got beat pretty bad here. It was a rough matchup overall, but Prestige did play it nicely. He will move on to winner's bracket. No, Alexi's not out, but he certainly is down.
Yeah, congrats to Prestige for continuing on that winners. Let's see. Looks like he's going to be playing against the against Surg TS here in the next round of the winners bracket that we'll go over tomorrow.
That will be on Juicy J's channel, twitch.tv/JuicyJ straight up, or JuicyJ?
JuicyJ_CR.
There you go, JuicyJ_CR. That'll be tomorrow. We still have, I believe, 6 more matches today. At the pace we're going at, it might take us about 15 minutes to get through 6 matches. because this is certainly flying on by.
It is. It is. I like. I mean, from a perspective of a spectator or a caster, like watching it, this format's great. But yeah, like we talked about earlier, like I can't imagine the stress of like picking your decks beforehand for a best of 3 like this. We got Coka versus Airsurfer coming up. This is the match I've been most excited to watch.
It's certainly going to be a good one, and we're seeing the end there. And game number 3 was just absolutely brutal. You're playing Fisherman and Lightning up against Cage, Cannon Cart, Recruits, Graveyard. And that was just absolutely brutal. You did see decent job done of it with Alexi getting some damage in, but in the end, Prestige able to shut that one down, move on, and take one step closer to that $15,000 grand prize, and of course, a plane ticket to a little town called Helsinki in the country of Finland to continue playing Clash Royale. And by the way, if you take a look at the prize for CRO World Finals, there's that $1 million prize pool where making top 16 is guaranteed $20,000. So
yeah, that's a lot.
Isn't just $15,000. It's actually a $35,000 win at one of these tournaments.
Absolutely. Yeah, I feel like most people kind of forget about that. I mean, I can't imagine that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for a lot of these players, I'd say.
Yeah, that's no joke at all. And speaking of no joke, the background for you, Juicy J, got a lot of fun stuff in there. And there's this piece of gold over your right hand shoulder. What's that bad boy over there?
In 2019, I was the solos world champion at the World Cyber Games. Got that gold medal. I got that little Hog Rider trophy above my head. Also got that Xion plushie up there. Yeah, I mean, that was one of the best moments of my life. I don't know. It was, yeah, like I said, I mean, I was 17 years old. That was a lot of money for a 17-year-old. I can definitely what's the word? Empathize or understand like the stress that these guys are going through here in this tournament.
Oh, for sure. It's no joke stress level on this one for these guys, and you can understand why with the amount of money that's online. Hold on, where's my good music? Well, I was gonna turn the music back on, but all right, there we go. It's the wonders of remote production. But yeah, Andrew and I were there front row for as many of those matches as we could be, including the final championship Klitcher. Super fun to watch you in there. Yeah. Yay, it's Andrew saying Juicy J real life banner flex. And I feel that. I feel that for sure. I don't remember what was the prize pool for that event. I don't even remember it actually now.
Yeah, it was $80,000 prize pool, but the distribution was a lot crazier. Like for these tournaments we see like it's spread out quite a bit. For that tournament, it was third place 10K, second place 20K, and then first place was 50K. So playing that final best of 5, it was 2-2 in the best of 5, and it was basically one game for a difference of $30,000. It was pretty wild.
That's super duper crazy, and I guess we can see where the whole $50,000 went to your background. That Star Wars poster was 30,000 of it probably, and then the rest of it.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Some shelves. So there you go.
Nice. And my Van Gogh himself there, you know.
I can dig it. That is Star Wars back there, right? I'm trying to take a look. Oh no, that's the Clash Royale Star Wars style. Oh, that's sick. I didn't realize that was the CR one. And then what I don't know, I've never. My background, of course, is back in Texas. I'm on a green screen right now because I'm actually in a basement as I'm casting this one. But I do see that you have some of the old school 2018 Clash Royale cards in a frame up there above your left-hand shoulder. Are one of your decks? Are those any of those specific decks are in there, or is it just a random? Oh, I think I see 2.6 up there. I see 3M Pump. Giant 3M Pump.
It's just like it's like the old school trading cards they had, and I tried to like make certain decks. There is 2.6 up there, but I didn't get like any epics. I didn't get any legendaries. I didn't even get all the commons and rares. I don't even think do they even sell them anymore? I don't think so.
No, I have an unopened full box on my shelf at home. I'm debating what I want to do with it in the long run. But let's forget all that for now, because look what we've got coming up right now. Airsurfer against Coka RX, and Coka playing shirtless, throwing out the prayer before we jump into things. Airsurfer ready to rock as well. Let's go ahead and jump into it.
Classic Coka. You love to see it. Fires for the bridge from Airsurfer. Starting out quick. Coka's got a Mega Minion. Log from Airsurfer. I would say most likely Airsurfer with a Hog Earthquake. Coka gotta be Elixir Golem. Maybe? No, a Valkyrie. Oh, maybe a Graveyard deck? I'm not sure. What are you thinking about that?
Hold on. I'm adjusting the bit rate down from 4,000 to 3,000 and seeing if maybe that solves some of the lags I see people are calling out on YouTube and Twitch. We'll see if that fixes it. Gotcha.
So Airsurfer not with Hog Earthquake, but actually Giant Skelly Mortar Miner cycle. Interesting. It's been interesting to see like how Giant Skeleton's just making its way into these cycle decks as such a just nice, consistent defensive unit. Also applying pressure. Like Giant Skeleton can almost be a kind of secondary-ish win condition in certain situations because it's always a threat. If that bomb gets to the tower, it's going to do a lot of damage. So Coka with the Valk and the Mega Minion Skelly Drag is definitely a Lava Hound deck we're seeing here for Coka. Using the cage, kind of a bit unorthodox, maybe trying to save some certain cards for later, like the Tombstone. Airsurfer with guards here as well. Guards, not as quick of a cycle, more control-oriented. And here comes the Lava from Coka. Fires for the bridge from Airsurfer to apply pressure and get a little extra damage. Does more damage than a Fireball for 1 elixir on the towers. It's kind of crazy. Sure y'all have heard that a million times by now. I'd probably say that at least 3 times a stream, but you know, you can't count those fire spirits out. Every single time one of them connects throughout the match, it's one step closer to taking down that tower.
I did see a little lag spike there on YouTube, everybody. I'm trying to do my best to fix it. I don't have control of the internet at my location, but hopefully that will clean itself up fairly soon.
Yeah, Airsurfer's got some great defense right now. The Queen, even though Queen, like generally Lava Hound has matchup versus Queen decks because it ends up being like the only air targeting card in the deck. But Airsurfer is doing a really good job basically just keeping that Queen alive, making use of the abilities, getting like 2 Queen abilities from that Queen. That was really smart. And then just applying the pressure as well. By applying pressure, you can make it a little bit easier on yourself on the defenses by making Coka spend elixir. Getting the Queen ability plus more combo down. This is definitely really useful for him. But the Fireball actually one-shots the Queen. The Balloon's still alive. It connects. Now might just be GG's here in the first game. Well played from Coka.
All right, I think that we are now, the stream is now starting to even out. We had a weird spike. Not entirely sure what it was, but had a weird spike on the internet side here. So it seems like it's it seems like the bit rate has evened out again. So hopefully we're through the worst of it, folks.
Technical difficulties, man. What would the world be without them? We probably, you know, the meme of like the what would the world be like without it? It's just like this futuristic like city with like flying cars.
Yes.
That's what it'd be like.
That's what it'd be like?
Yep. If there's no technical difficulties, bro, life would be so good.
Let me try this. Let me try killing a couple of things here.
So Airsurfer, the drill bridge spam variation, got a Dark Prince here as well. And looks like Coka might actually be running a drill bridge spam, or not drill bridge spam, splash shard. Classic splash shard. Volunteer wasn't able to pick up the those units. Wasn't able to splash. And so Airsurfer is going to get a lot of damage here. Looks like he's going to press that advantage with a Magic Archer to the bridge here as well. Always keeping Coka on his toes right now.
All right, here
Gold
we go.
Knight.
First, go ahead.
I was just going to Gold Knight and then an immediate dash. Just keeping the pressure on. I really like what Airsurfer is doing here. When you're going at Splash Shard, you want to get your damage early. Because once it gets to double elixir, Splash Shard is able to have some very nice defenses. and then have huge counter pushes. So I really like what Airsurfer's doing here. He's just applying so much pressure and getting that damage early. Looks like Coka's gonna go ops lane. I would have to disagree here with this play. Like, generally you want to go same lane. I understand why he's doing it. He doesn't want to allow a sneaky magic archer, and also drill bridge fam is also a defense and counter push deck. It can be. So like going ops lane here is somewhat useful. But the other main reason you want to go same lane as a splash shard player is because a tower trade is not good for you. Wow, and Airsurfer's taking both towers right now.
Yeah, stream should be operating it correctly now, everybody. Go ahead and refresh your stream if you're having trouble at the moment. But it looks like we're back up and running on our end. Poison in with the graveyard, and looks like Airsurfer's back up and running as well.
Yep, Airsurfer just absolutely obliterating the Coka in this matchup. I'm not sure what was going down in Coka's mind there. Like, I definitely, like, as a splash shard player, like, you definitely need to go same lane, and I guess we see the consequences by deciding to go ops lane here.
Is splash yard same lane just because it relies so much on getting tanks across the bridge?
Well, it's same lane because it is defense and counter push oriented, so you want to go same lane so when your opponent is attacking you, you can defend off that and then counter push. The other big reason that you need to go same lane in that specific matchup is because Airsurfer doesn't have a big spell. So you can stack up these huge beatdown-esque pushes with like I call it the trifecta push. You have the Ice Wiz, the Baby Dragon, and the Knight or slash tank. Could be a Valka Knight or a Skelly King. And then counter pushing with those 3 units and your graveyard. And that can be really hard to stop since Airsurfer doesn't have a big spell. So I think if he just went, like if Coca was able to just continue to go same lane in that matchup and just basically block Airsurfer from attacking there, he had a chance. But now we're into game 3. Looks like Airsurfer has some role recruits versus Coca using a Mega Knight Wallbreakers minor deck with Queen.
On a personal level, I really want to see Airsurfer do very well in this tournament. On the other side of things, I want to see Coka RX get some big wins so we can see him yell at the camera.
Yes, I was going to say the exact same thing. We're on the same page, Rich. Absolutely.
Just as a little like sync check here, I'm at a minute 53 to 51, 50, 49.
Yep, we're good.
Great. And a lot of people in the chat on Twitch saying like MK versus Pigs, oof, is when we got out there.
Yeah, so here's how the matchup goes. Like, Mega Knight's great versus Pigs. Airsurfer also has the Fireball Arrows combo for the Queen, though. Coca does have a massive damage lead already. Here comes some Pigs. Really smart from Airsurfer to split his Pigs, so Mega Knight can't get value on everything. This Brawler is an issue. Nice kite there. And all of a sudden, that wall breaker is the real issue.
I really do like the 3-1 splits, though, when you're playing against Mega Knight. Because you kind of make them make a decision into that lane most of the time. And then you're kind of you're in control of where they Mega Knight while also getting some damage opposite lane. I love that split.
Yeah, it's really smart, especially for the counter-pushing unit. Because if you do just go for the 2-2 split, they're always going to take the Mega Knight value to get that extra unit. So yeah, I would 100% agree. Really, really smart play there. But now we're starting to see like how Airsurfer can win this matchup. He does have the Fireball Arrows for the Queen, so the Queen doesn't get that much value. And when the Queen's off the board, the Flying Machine can go to work. The Mega Knight does pretty well versus the Recruits and the Pigs, but that Flying Machine can be a win condition in its own right. All it takes is one Flying Machine lock while the Recruit or maybe a Mighty Miner is tanking for the tower. You get in a lot of damage. And Coca, yeah, he just does not have the big spell. He doesn't have a good way of taking out. He does have the bats, but Flying Machine does a pretty good job versus bats generally as well.
So here we go. Into sudden death overtime. So far, it has been Coka RX with the lead. Airsurfer behind by about 600, and that's going to be a coast-to-coast mini P.E.K.K.A clicking on that right-hand side as well.
Yeah, that was insane. I mean, Airsurfer, I think he was hoping the Zappies could clutch up, over there on the right, but the hit over there is not huge. It does open up possibilities for Coca for like ops lane, split lane pressure. But yeah, I would say generally like the later it gets into this match, the better off Airsurfer is. He did miss the fireball on the queen though, so this queen stays alive in this situation. If he didn't miss the fireball on the queen, he would have been absolutely great, like looking for a nice comeback. But all of a sudden, we got a Mega Knight Queen minor push.
Wow.
The cage fails to pull the Mega Knight, and this might just be GG's because of two huge mistakes from Airsurfer.
And take a look at that. Coka RX popping off there. Popping off there. Is he talking to his chat? Is he recording this for video?
No.
Does he think Airsurfer is on the other side? Are they in the same room and he's yelling at Airsurfer directly? Production, keep the camera on Coka RX for 10 more minutes. I just want to watch that all day.
At least 10 more minutes, man.
What is happening? Man, that guy's fun to watch when he wins.
Yep. That's how it's been for a couple of days now. I've become a big fan of his.
So here we go. Game number 1. The early balloon push did its work. Second balloon push comes in. Coka putting the control deck in trouble. Game number 2, Airsurfer turned it around. Complete and utter domination. Splash Yard not able to get it going. And you saw some effort, but 2 towers down. Airsurfer dominant in game number 2. And then after this, we go on to game number 3. And Airsurfer had a tough job out in front of him the entire time. The Archer Queen stays on the board because of the missed fireball. And then Mega Knight gets in front. And Airsurfer just spread too thin. Nice job with the minor GG. Well played. Coka RX stays in the winner's bracket, and Airsurfer drops down into elimination zone.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. Yeah, you just can't be making those mistakes in a tournament like this if you want to win. Coka just takes full advantage of those mistakes with that Mega Knight the bridge, a minor to support the Mega Knight as well. I was pretty surprised the Mega Knight didn't get distracted by that Goblin Cage. I'm sure Airsurfer was as well. But the Zappy's just pulling it just close enough to the tower to make the tower closer. So, yeah. Good games. Good games.
That was a whole lot of fun. Christian saying, who are these players? Well, those 2 players, Christian, were Airsurfer, longtime CRL pro, played for TSM, played for Complexity, played for Misfits, and of course one of the all-time great Expo players from the old school Expo days. Airsurfer is also the reason why they had to change the global matchmaking system, because he put up like 130, 140 wins just by crushing people left and right, grinding it so hard. So they changed it after Airsurfer just dominated that way. The side of it, Coka RX, longtime talented player out of Brazil, spent 1 season, I believe, in CRL as part of Pain Gaming, and now is enjoying this new era of the shirtless Coka, which has been been enjoyable to watch. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. What do we have next here? We have Mario versus Ardentoas. Whoever wins that's going to be going against Coka. Who do you think is going to win here? I said Arden was one of the players I thought might be able to win this ticket. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Arden certainly should be in that. What's interesting is we saw how good Ardentoas was in the ESL Snapdragon first split for NA. And then I believe it was directly after that, might have been Royale Masters. No, it might have been Masters Challenge, which was right after that, where Arden kind of fell apart in the later rounds of that competition. Where he had a good look at a golden ticket opportunity and just kind of let it fall through his fingers. And then he wasn't great in the NA finals for the Snapdragon Pro Series for the for Split 2. So, it was interesting sort of seeing we had Ardentoas like really looking like he was on, like his stock was rising, and he's been a little bit shaky on the back end. You've seen him more though as of late in this tournament. How's he looking so far here in the Clash All-Stars?
Yeah, I mean, he's playing well. I mean, you have to play well to make it this far. Maybe the nerves just get to him once he gets to like later parts in a tourney. We'll see how he fares versus Mario here. I don't know much about Mario Pro. Do you know anything?
I can't remember what he has, like I feel like I remember he has like a kind of a strange ladder deck. I could be wrong about that. As a lot of these guys do. Mario's a guy he's been in like the qualifier rounds for a lot of competitions. I don't think I think this is the furthest I've seen him make it, or at least close to it in a major competition. I'll go ahead and double check on that one. It's one of those guys where like, oh, Mario Pro, I've seen you in here a few times. But again, I just don't think I've seen him go deep.
So it looks like we got a Mortar versus Lava matchup once again here. We saw how that went with Airsurfer versus Coka. Giant Skull the bridge from Arden here, realizing that it's basically impossible to defend a lava push with just an Archer Queen. Looks like he's got the bats though to help out. That's gonna be huge. Arrows come out to kill those bats quickly though. And this Giant Skull is still a threat though. Woo!
And there you go, Mario Pro. I was just confirming some of that information. Mario Pro personal best on ladder is 78-15, so solid. Has never gotten past the top 300 on ladder overall, and finished 338th in the standings from last season. And yeah, has no significant big tournament placements. So I've seen him make it kind of far in qualifier rounds before, but this is going to be one of the better accomplishments on his profile for sure.
Absolutely. I really like the bats from Arden here. He basically predicted the lava tank, and yeah, look, lava's already dead by the time it crosses the river, and it's gonna make this defense a lot more manageable. I really like the miner here as well. This is a trick you can do a lot of the time versus the Mega Minion to counter it, but Mario's not gonna allow that to be enough to counter. He goes for the Skelly King in front to keep this Mega Minion alive, and Giant Skelly comes down in the nick of time. That was close. The ability just to try and kill this giant skeleton. Is it enough? I think it is. I think he can let this go. Okay, he decides to get the Skelly Drags down, but the Mortar's going to distract, and the Skelly Drags get wiped out by that bomb.
Skelly Drags get wiped out, and the Mortar doesn't retarget back to that miner as well. So a couple shots in that I think Mario Pro just miscalculated, and it's Mario Pro again. Like I think someone's saying that Mario's had success in some smaller tournaments, but nothing major, and this would certainly be an upset. And so far, Mario Pro just looking a little bit out of sorts, but again, we can see what this Lava Hound does, getting murdered by these bats, though.
Yeah. And Mario only with one spell for the bats. Once again, the bomb just taking out these Skelly Dragons. Skelly Dragons, one of the key parts of a lava deck like this. They provide so much DPS. This game's not over yet, though. Will this miner connect? It does.
Nope, never mind. I was going to say, that was a lot of damage in for Mario Pro, but yeah, Arden goes ahead and shuts things down. Game number 1 to the rookie out of Mexico. Or not a rookie anymore, I guess like a half rookie.
Yeah, true that. I think Mario had a chance to maybe win that game if he did catch that miner with the Skelly King. But reactively playing, it's just not enough there since the poison came down as well.
So here we go into our second game. Ardentoas with the advantage. Sets up Golden Knight and the Giant out of Mario Pro.
Yeah, that's something we don't see very often.
And we're seeing a bit more of it, but not a ton. And Giant Heal Spirit.
Giant Heal Spirit, definitely a Giant Sparky Mini P.E.K.K.A. No Rage, but with Fireball Zap and Tornado and Arden Toas using the Drill Bridge spam here. It's going to really matter if Arden has, like, what kind of version here Arden has. Because if he has the Zappies version, it's going to be rough. If he's got the Ewiz, he's chilling. Ewiz one of the best, if not the best counter to the Sparky. Fireball comes out here to shut down that Magic Archer, but it's still got a couple shots off. Wow, that's aggressive.
Very aggressive. It does pull back the Giant and gets the Golden Knight on tower. So King Tower activation in, but look at the amount of damage put in on that right-hand side.
Yeah. This is like the main reason why like using a defensive like building targeting card as a defense versus drill is usually not what you want. Really heads up play from Arden, kind of maybe realizing his opponent's cycle, realizing he might go for that Giant and playing the drill all the way in the back to pull that Giant backwards and get that huge Golden Knight connection.
Well, that's the interesting part, right? Is that Mario doesn't have a phenomenal counter for the drill. He has mediocre counters, right? I mean, you can pick stuff up with the mini P.E.K.K.A, but you're still not. It's not a phenomenal counter for the drill. You're gonna kind of get negatived there, or at least get even. You're not gonna have any counter push out of it. And you see what he's trying to do. That's what he was trying to do. But then here comes the other part of it, which is why is a drill Magic Archer player? Oh boy, oh boy.
So, yeah, the tornado here from Mario.
Boy.
Like, it's a great idea. Like, you want to pull on your side of the map and break the angle so that the tower can kill the Marcher and you're not taking any more hits. But, yeah, so he just got stuck on the bridge there a bit with a bit of a poor placement. I think you got to place that tornado like 1 or 2 more tiles to the left there.
I mean, I'm a drill Magic Archer player, and I love specifically when I see that, when I see someone defending the drill, as you were talking about, with the tank, with the building targeting tank, because it's always going to, okay, not only is there going to be a lot of advantage for the Golden Knight, but then as we just saw, just that free Magic Archer lineup is always so clutch, and this is just easy does it. Ardentoas getting this done in 6 minutes.
Yeah. GG's. And there comes that Guwice. So great deck pick from Arden here as well. Definitely a pretty nice matchup, and Mario just wasn't able to hang. Like you said, just not great counters for the drill there. Mini P.E.K.K.A and Guwice, they're okay, but they're definitely not great.
Yeah, and that's the big one, right? Is they're okay but not great.
Yeah, and you need great.
And you need great, and especially when you're going to get out cycled eventually, when you're going to get Magic Archer value against you eventually, as we saw there, especially against the Giant. And we also saw a couple of big mistakes out of Mario Pro too, right? Which Arden's not going to let that one. You're not going to get away with that against Ardentoas.
Definitely not. Biggest one being there, the miss on the tornado. Mario is just able to like make something happen with the Sparky push in the left, but even then Arden shut that down very nicely with almost a perfect tornado on his end versus like the mini P.E.K.K.A Sparky combo along with the cannon cart. Not to mention the offensive tornado with that Magic Archer to make sure to finish off that tower on that replay.
Yep, just made sure it got done, and knew that the Magic Archer was in no danger at that point. And Fireball was really not a factor in this one either. Didn't really do much for Mario Pro overall. You only saw one get in there, and then didn't get in there when he needed it the most, which was to stop that Magic Archer.
Yeah, it's true. I wonder why. Honestly, yeah, I wonder why he didn't Fireball the Magic Archer there. Like, obviously the tornado is cheaper, but tornado is necessary for him on offense in order to either pull things in, like the Magic Archer, or the cannon cart, like into your mini P.E.K.K.A / Sparky push, or just pull like something opposite lane, like the cannon cart opposite lane, to give yourself a chance to break through. So, I mean, you made a great point there. I think fireballing the Magic Archer there was not only safer of a play, but also a better of a play. So a small mistake there as well.
So Ardentoas moves on. Mario Pro will go to the lower bracket. I'm wonder if I'm going to see if I can ask them to send us to show us the bracket, because we have not actually seen the bracket in a while. Let me go ahead and DM production or message production and be like, "Hey, can we see the bracket, please?" Because that would be awesome. Let me. Oh, not the chat. No, not the chat. Let me go into. The casters section.
While you're doing that, I'll be right back. I'm going to get a quick refill of my water.
Go for it.
Yeah, one sec.
And while Juicy's gone, let's all tell embarrassing stories about Juicy J. What do you guys got? Anything? Get the full roast in? No, Juicy's doing great. Definitely did a lot better at Clash Royale than I am. Sunglasses game, though, certainly not there. And if you do like the stun glasses, by the way, if you're into them, I do wear Gooders exclusively. They're a friend of the channel, and I actually have here. I'll go ahead and throw you my link. If you do like the shades, here you go. You can use this, and you can use code RICH for 15% off of Gooder sunglasses if you like the stunnies. So hope you guys enjoy those. Let me get the music back on. Where'd the music go? Boom. Here's that music. So you can use code RICH there. You also use code RICH in the Supercell shop to support me if you feel like being nice, if you feel like being sweet. Ooh, a new pair that I haven't gotten to debut a new pair on stream in a while. And I was going to debut these the other... Oh, no. Where did they go? Okay, here they are. While we're kind of waiting for this next game to come in, because it's taken a minute, these ones I have not had gotten to debut on stream yet because you can see they key out. So let me go ahead and turn off my... I mean, they fully key out because they are green, bruh. Look at that. Those are just lenses there. Which is... But, yeah, just flying lenses right here. Oh, here's the bracket. Let me go ahead and show that to you guys real quick.
Hey, let's go.
Hey, let's go. So, as you can see, Surg TS and Prestige in one upper bracket semifinal. Coka and Ardentoas in the other. So, man, for any one of those, you only have to win 3 BO3s, and you now have a golden ticket to World Finals. So, the journey there is so much easier for those guys. 3 best of 3s, that's it. If you're in the lower bracket, you have to win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 best of 3s to make it to the top. So that's the advantage of the upper bracket. 3 BO3s for those 4 semifinalists, and 7 for any of the guys in the lower bracket if they want to have a shot at Worlds, which is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I mean, at least it is spread out in between days a bit. But I mean, most of those matches are gonna be played tomorrow, right? So
yeah,
not only is there more matches, so like you have a lower chance of making it that far, but it also like having to play that many games, it can be pretty mentally exhausting, I'd say. Like, you know, a lot of time exhaustion is associated with, you know, like physical sports, but like having to have that much on your mind in a single day can definitely I think lower your chances as well, right?
It can certainly be a lot. It's definitely really, really crazy hard. And you see these lower bracket matchups: Mario Pro, Francito coming up soon, Airsurfer and Sub, Alexi and Tico, and then Lucas and Adriel. So those are all elimination brackets coming up here. We're going to see those 4 games today, our last 4 games of the day. And while we're waiting for them, let me go ahead and... Yeah, so I got the chroma key on. Let me go ahead and turn the key off here so you guys can see how fresh these are. There you go. These are... Yeah, you got the green. You got the green. These are the Hulks. These are the Hulk edition gooders, right? Those are fire. From part of the new Marvel line. There's also a whole like line of just Thor Love and Thunder glasses coming out, which I might have to get my hands on yet? As well. I haven't seen it yet.
I don't know if I want to see it. I don't know. I like Marvel a lot, but I'm just not into like the comedy kind of esque Marvel movies.
Interesting.
I like the serious ones, man. I don't know. That's just me.
No, I mean I liked what was the one before the Thor one before this? Where
yeah, that one. My friends love that one, but same thing. I just wasn't. That's just not my vibe, I guess.
Yeah, your favorite Iron Man was Iron Man 3, where he was all sad. That was your favorite Iron Man.
No.
Sad Iron Man in the snow.
Iron Man 1.
Iron Man.
I liked Iron Man 1. Like, I don't know if there's ever. I don't know. I mean, it's also like biased, right? Because like Iron Man 1 is like the first movie I saw, and I was like a kid then, you know. So,
sure.
That there's just like that movie has a special like part in my heart because I'm definitely into movies a lot, and yeah, Iron Man 1 definitely takes a cake for me.
Well, let's see if our own Iron... No, I got nothing for this one. Let's go ahead and jump into Fram versus Mario Pro and see who can stay alive here. Can Mario Pro recover after a disastrous performance?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out very soon.
He just played. Wow, I can't believe they're making him play again, like right away.
Yeah, that is a bit of a quick turnaround there for him, but again, these are like the pre-selected decks or who knows what, so I guess he's ready to rock. And yeah, I do agree. That's interesting. They're making him go right back to back.
Is that how it is in the bracket too? Yeah, I guess it is.
Yes, it is. I still wait here for it, and I'm back to I'm wearing the Black Panthers now because they don't chroma key out. So, and they're also fire because they're purple, and purple's like the best. A lot of people talking about the boys right now. As long as we're waiting, the boys. I have not watched this season yet, and I'm excited for it. I've been waiting to do it all at once. But I watched the first 2 seasons of The Boys is definitely fire. That's true.
I like The Boys a lot. Yeah, I mean, this season's, I don't know, it's starting to get to that Stranger Things vibe where they're like dragging it out, and it's just like every season kind of feels the same. That's how it is for me, but you know, I liked it still. I still liked it a lot. Still, I mean, the same thing as Stranger Things. Like, even though this season's kind of similar, plot's kind of in the same area, like I still like it a lot.
Well, here we go. Let's see if Mario can recover in time. Looking like it might be E-Giant.
Mm-hmm. Yep, definitely E-Giant Mirror. Ooh, maybe we're seeing a Mega Knight here. A Mega Knight's Minor Wall Breakers, the deck we just saw not too long ago. Notice like the tech here with the play from Mario on the Mega Knight. They're placing it directly at the river, which basically makes it so the Golden Knight gets shoved back across the river, which prevents any further dashes. That's really smart. And wow, look at that King Star activation from Fram. Beautiful tornado placement there.
Very nicely done. And yes, their pictures are reversed. Francito is on the bottom, Mario's at the top, so they'll need to get those pictures flipped here fairly soon. Might have to wait until next game to get it done. And please, no spoilers in chat, by the way. I have not watched any of The Boys this season.
So Fram using the Baby Dragon instead of Skeletons. We've seen this a lot, like Baby Dragon or Mega Minion in the slot instead of Skellies. Making it a little bit less cycle and a little bit more beatdown oriented.
What's with the resurgence of Mega Knight? We've seen Mega Knight has felt pretty dead and competitive for a while, and suddenly we're seeing Mega Knight a lot today. What's behind that?
I think the biggest thing is not the Mega Knight. I think Mini P.E.K.K.A makes this deck. Personally, like, Mini P.E.K.K.A is so good in the E-Giant meta, but also, I don't know, maybe it is partly because of the formatting, right? You know, it's like more control oriented and maybe more comfort oriented, and this Mega Knight deck has been around for a very long time, and yeah, there's definitely a lot of players that enjoy playing it. You are right, like Mega Knight definitely is not very good right now because after that spawn, like Enter the Arena ability nerf that it had, but you know, it's still a solid deck, I'd say.
So Miner in deep. Mega Knight gets picked up, and now you have a nice healthy counter push here. NATO cheek to put that. Yeah, but that doesn't end up being anything. So you spend the NATO, and instead it just turns into good opposite lane damage from the Musketeer, and just like that, the lead goes to Mario Pro.
Yeah, the Musketeer actually popped off. Yeah, what do you think? Do you think tornadoing into the E-Giant is a better play there? Like, you are trading damage a little bit. Because of that play, he did get one E-Giant hit, but maybe just tornado it in would be better because, like I said, Mini P.E.K.K.A, one of the best counters the E-Giant, prevented it. Too many hits, even without the help of that Musketeer.
Yeah, that's a hard call there. Obviously, it didn't work out great, and now just a whole lot more damage coming in. Mega Knight on one side. This is a healthy E-Giant at the bridge, but Mini P.E.K.K.A right behind, Musketeer down low. This E-Giant, and so let's see the opposite. And the opposite doesn't do much different, right? Maybe a little bit there with bringing the Musketeer in.
The biggest thing there was like getting the availability for that Gold Knight connection by bringing that Musketeer in at least. The biggest thing that Fram's doing wrong here is basically like the aggressive E-Giants to bridge without the tornado on the Mini P.E.K.K.A. What you actually want to do in a matchup like this is, number one, you want to get some mirrored E-Giants down. He hasn't done that yet either since he's been playing aggressively the bridge. But once you get the mirrored E-Giants down, you want to play them opposite lane, and then you want to use the tornado to pull the Mini P.E.K.K.A away. So by going same lane here, you're just giving the Mega Knight splash value to hit both, and you're allowing the Mini P.E.K.K.A to kill one E-Giant after another. If you split up your lanes here, you have to choose which side you use that Mini P.E.K.K.A on. And then you use your tornado to pull the Mini P.E.K.K.A away, like onto your side of the map, and distract it with something like a Gold Knight or a Bomber. There's definitely some room to improve here from Fram, but you know, the game's not over. This is still a very close game. Another tornado here, a dash. Will the Gold Knight get the tower? No.
Yeah, that tornado needed to put the Golden Knight on tower. Doesn't get it done. Now 22 seconds left, 20 seconds left, 7-11. Lightning does not get to the Musketeer. It's too far away, so that's just trying to Lightning cycle here is Fram at this point. Doesn't have the mirror for the Lightning. So that's going to be a wall breaker not connecting, Miner in, and
needs a mirror Lightning.
He gets one in. Can he get a second one in?
No.
Not going to happen.
Huge mistake.
Wow. Mario. Game
that was
number
a huge
one.
mistake from Fram. Like, he could have definitely won this game. Just ignore the miner. You play the bomber. You ignore that miner. The King Tower is helping it. If you mirror your Lightning, you do more damage than that miner could have. Like, 100%. I definitely think he could have won there. He needed to get that mirror Lightning down just a little bit sooner.
Yeah, that was wild. So, E-Giant mirror cycle. Game number one for Fram. Let me see if I can get them to switch the... switch that. Thanks. I'm going to tell them...
a drill and a fire spirit from Fram. Mario with the Dark Prince. Dark Prince is probably the best drill counter in the game. And an E-Giant the bridge to support it. Here we go. Okay, Inferno Tower down as well. Did the Dark Prince speed it up enough? It did speed the E-Giant up enough to get the E-Giant to the Inferno. It's very tanky though. The towers will finish it off. Are we going to see mirrored E-Giant right now? Yes, sir. Mirrored E-Giant is down. Inferno Tower is not in cycle. Fram is back to his drill, and that's the beauty of the drill, right? That's why it's... I mean, even if E-Giant wasn't meta, drill would still be meta. It's such a good win condition. But this is just a plus, having a secondary building in your deck here. Tornado comes down.
Tornado.
And the Skarmy cleans up.
Clear out those skellies. Yeah, that's... Ended up working out nicely for Francito. Does have to spend. He's down by 1 on Elixir now. But does have the ever so slight chip lead in the right-hand lane.
Yeah, I think the biggest mistake from Mario there was the Golden Knight. Like, you need to understand your opponent's deck there. Realize that the Dark Goblin will come down. If you use the Tornado before playing the Golden Knight, his E-Giant would have had enough health to potentially get some shots in the tower there. But because of that, Fram kind of just, allowing that Tornado to come down late, allowing that Dark Gob to get that damage, and then going for the Skarmy after the Tornado, which really just cleaned everything up.
There you go.
What spell do you think Mario is here? It could be Rocket or Lightning. Okay, looks like he decides to do neither on this Inferno and just go mirrored E-Giant back. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, the Inferno should be down in time for that not to be a big issue with this Dark Prince going to the left-hand side. So this should be a nice little path. Is Francito back to another Inferno Tower? And he is. But is the Elite E-Giant in close enough to stop it? And it is.
Definitely. And then, wow, he has the Golden Knight and the Dark Prince. Usually it's one or the other. No Tornado? How do you... Maybe he wants to save the Tornado for the second.
Oh my word.
That?
Are you kidding me? Lightning comes out for Mario Pro. Golden Knight books a flight to Ohio but ends up in Argentina somehow. What an unbelievable trip taken there by that Golden Knight.
My brain can't even comprehend what I just watched. That Dark Goblin was literally like 1 or 2 tiles next to his tower. The Fire Spirit was literally the farthest point at the top of the river there to try and distract the Golden Knight, and it just dashed. It looked like 5 or 6 tiles of a dash right there.
That was a nice take out on that Dark Goblin. And now Mario Pro getting a great connection on the right-hand lane as well. Dark Prince and Golden Knight both doing a good job of shutting down these drills from Francito.
I just don't know if Fram can come back here. I mean, there's still a lot of time left in this game. We'll see what he can do. Mario is definitely in the spot that he wants. He's got really, really good counters versus the drill as well. He's got the Dark Prince, he's got the Golden Knight, and the Bomber. Fram's gonna, like, I would say that the only way Fram can come back here is with a crazy Dark Gob connection. He's getting a lot of damage on this right-hand side, though.
This is pretty nice, although this is going to be, I think, frustrating for him to defend now. And Dark Prince is just there, right? And that's the big problem is that there's no outcycling here to beat the defense because Dark Prince and the wait a second, 1125 on that right-hand side, so some damage did get through.
Yeah,
Significant damage here with 43 left.
I believe he misplaced his Dark Prince by a little bit too high, and one of those goblins were actually able to connect. Fireball as well. This is really close.
He decides not to double cycle that. I don't know about that NATO for the Dark Goblin on the opposite side here.
It's not bad because you do get a little bit of tower damage. He's just trying to do everything he can to try and get into that double lightning range.
Lightning down, first one in. And he's going to get that double lightning down, and that should be a GG, a well-played Mario Pro. Just shuts down Francito with a clean 2-0, sending him home and out of the tournament.
I really can't help but feel bad for Fram there. That GoldenEye dash was ridiculous. If that didn't happen, he definitely, I think he definitely wins that game. Like, he made it really, really close. But GG's to Mario Pro, absolutely.
So here we go, game number 1. And you saw the attempt to miner it back and just couldn't get the double lightning down in time. And so, yeah, good call there from you, Juicy. Probably should have just done double lightning and not worried about the shots there. And then here we go. This is... Oh, we don't get that. Are we going to get that?
No, we don't. That's what I was going to say.
Come on.
I really wanted to see it. That goal line dash was definitely the game winner.
Yeah, that was wild. I definitely want to see that one more time. But I didn't clip it in time to go ahead and replay it. I wonder if someone on Twitch did clip that. Sometimes the Twitch viewership does go ahead and grab some clips. Let me take a look. It's totally possible someone hit that and wrote craziest connection ever.
Yeah.
42 minutes ago. Nope, no one clipped it. Oh, well.
I'm sure we'll see on Twitter later.
Yeah, right. Well, I would have put it on Twitter later if I'd clipped it.
Oh, true that.
All right, that would have been me. That would have been me. I would have been the clipper. But I wasn't the clipper. Didn't make it happen.
Opportunity lost.
Something in my office just made a crazy noise. Tale of Underdogs today says Austy Boss. Yeah, dude, something fell. Like, there's no one in here with me. It's just me. It's me and this waterfall. That's all that's in here. Right? And this flag. That's all that's in here. And I just heard, like, a thing, like, and I was like, what the heck could that have been?
It was a waterfall, man.
Oh, here's that replay. Ooh. Let's see if can we get there in time? Oh, and we didn't get there in time. They didn't, because they were just doing it for their own.
Dang it!
Come on!
I just opened it like 1 second too late too.
Come on!
Oh!
Come on! Do it again.
Round three.
Do it again. My lord. They didn't tell us because they're in the we're not the primary production. We're clean feeding, so they're working with the Brazilian production, and
we're chopped liver.
Yeah. What are we? What are we? Nothing? Are we nothing to you? Is it because I didn't do my hair? I know. I didn't put anything. I didn't put any. I had the product's right here. I didn't put anything in my hair today, and so this is what I get for not doing my hair correctly.
Hey man, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there with like their hair would look worse if they didn't put something in.
True.
Like it doesn't look that bad.
So here we go. Sub versus my hair. His cuts definitely fly right now. Airsurfer decided haircuts are irrelevant when you have a watermelon. So Airsurfer rocking the new version of the tinfoil hat. Make sure those 5G signals don't get into his brain.
Yeah,
all right, that's what he's trying to do.
I wonder how he had that idea. He's like, yes, they asked for a picture. Yes, I'm gonna wear a watermelon.
I like it.
That's an interesting one.
It's my favorite move by Airsurfer.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Trying to clip stuff for the call. Thank you, Nimbus. Trying to get some clips here. Can Jackson read chat? Man, someone calling you by your given name.
Yeah. Yo, what's up, guys? Hi, Fight and Hide. Hi, Limelight. How you doing, Limelight?
I used to like Brazil. I don't even know why he's upset about. Why are you angry about? What are you upset about?
Some people are just mad, Rich. Some people are just mad.
Bro, I've seen it. I've seen it. This guy's saying I've seen it all now. Well, you know what you haven't seen yet is the newest. I'm going to show you guys. I'll probably do like a little video about it actually, but I'll preview that I have a video that's going to be happening. Oh, it's getting to the gameplay. I can't tell you guys about this yet. Oh, look at how quick that little like tease that I gave you guys. Little tease.
You have to wait. You have to wait, chat.
You got to hang out. Hey, EB7 YouTube saying, hey, Rich, big fan, man. Hey, EB7 YouTube, big fan, too.
Eric, I love you.
Good luck on the channel there, Callum. Don't take my content. But good luck on your channel.
Okay, we got a queen and a cannon cart from sub. Usually that's going to be paired with a mortar for whatever reason. Maybe a graveyard too. It's usually what I think when I see queen and cannon cart together. And then Airsurfer with the giant skelly hog. So giant skelly hog versus queen, cannon cart, mortar graveyard. I'm not sure who has matchup. Earthquake's really nice in the matchup to help take out the mortars and also the graveyards. But you know, graveyard it's just one of those win conditions that you can place right on the tower, right along with the miner and a drill. That's just it's very tough to defend. Like it's hard to always prevent damage. So you always have a chance with one of those win conditions.
So first minute 40 done. And a little chip both directions.
Mm-hmm. So he's not got the graveyard. He's got the miner instead. That's interesting. Wonder why. I feel like graveyard's a little bit better.
It's interesting how much like graveyard and miner decks actually end up sharing cards.
Yeah, I mean,
kind of surprising in some ways.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense that he has the miner, actually. Usually the graveyard variation of this deck would have the arrows, and probably not the fire spear, a little bit more heavier. So it makes sense. But yeah, you're right. They can share cards a lot. The same thing with drill.
Miner down to tank for the Archer Queen, and Bomb Tower High prevents the stronger damage here. What do you think about that Archer Queen ability being used right there?
I mean, you're kind of forced to. Do you mean like, should he have not used it at all?
Yeah.
I definitely think it's worth it. For only one elixir, you do take the cannon, or you do take the bomb tower off of the field, which makes it so you have the ability to like play a mortar or anything. You also do a couple shots on the giant skeleton. Generally, my idea of Archer Queen abilities is never let a queen die without using it. I think that if you stick to that rule generally, you're going to have some good Archer Queens. So that's just me. I think it was worth it.
Comment of the day. I'll put that up there one more time. How does CalSub play staring straight into his webcam all game? Yep.
I like that one. You think he was like saying it as a joke, or do you think he actually thought that he was doing that?
I think he's savvy.
Gotcha.
And Hog does not connect on the right-hand side. Miner does on the left-hand side. Final 65 seconds, 66 seconds on its way right now. 1784 to 2276. The mark here.
Yeah, Sub's been like very unpredictable with his miner placements this game. Been really good to see. This Hog might connect. No, the mortar does pull. The queen ability just obliterates everything in her path. This is a close one.
This is an elimination match, so.
True.
Loser here will have their back against the wall in game 2.
The queen got so much value defensively from Sub there on the right. This queen will take out the cannon cart. 27 seconds left. Miner fire spear on the left. Poison comes down as well. Miner does get a couple shots off. It's going to come down to whether Airsurfer can get a Hog connection here or not. This Hog stuck behind the giant skelly. Honestly, kind of working out for him. Yeah, I think
Did
it
that
is
end up
useful,
helping him?
actually. Yeah.
Wow, does the Hog get a
100%.
shot here? Miner goes back, Cannon Cart goes down. Archer Queen trying to find a way through. She can't get on tower, and that's GG, well played. Sub takes game number 1.
Good game. Yeah, I mean, the Cannon Cart plus Archer Queen combo just is so much DPS. It's really hard to get anything through, and then you just got the mortar to always be able to pull those hogs. The Earthquake is the best spell versus buildings, but mortar just has so much HP. When you like just pairing the mortar with the Cannon Cart or the Arch Queen, like it's not really a way for Airsurfer to break through there.
Game 2, Airsurfer needs to win 2 in a row to stay alive here, and certainly one of the members of the old guard who a lot of fans want to see move on. And he will have more chances, as just like all of you watching at home, as we get into our next phase after our final golden ticket is awarded July 31st with the Royale Masters. Right after that, we jump into the 20-win challenge, followed by Swiss brackets and double elimination brackets and tons of brackets to get you all the way to Clash Royale League World Finals. And just like Airsurfer, you can compete in that. More info, of course, at esports.clashroyale.com.
So we're having another waiting game here. Once again, could be Beatdown, Lava, Golem, E-Giant, or more like counter-push-oriented decks like Graveyard and maybe even a Giant Skelly like Drill Bridge Spam. Looks like Airsurfer most likely have Graveyard here since he did wait this long, if I had to guess. Technically, he still could be RG or Lava Hound. So here comes the Cannon Cart. So definitely Graveyard. Sub with a Graveyard deck as well, actually. Giant Skeleton, Inferno Dragon here. Could be a bit of a mirror matchup, kind of a mirror matchup here. Will this Cannon Cart lock? No. Skelly King comes down.
Does not happen. Zappy's going to get absorbed and then fireballed out. Doesn't take out the top Zappy there. Sub going for tower damage rather than full Zappy clearance.
Yeah, I think that was the right play. If you go for all Zappies there, Inferno Drag still gets countered by that fireball. Taking the tower damage is probably the right play there. Who knows, that little bit of tower damage might end up being the difference maker here later down the line. Can this Cannon Cart snipe? Yes.
And it does. Gets that one down from distance. Inferno Dragon's battling at the bridge. And it's going to be the Inferno Dragon of Airsurfer that wins here as the Cannon Cart is shielding for it. And that's going to be a healthy Inferno. But does he double down here on this push to the right?
I'm not sure. Does he go for the Graveyard? No, he resets with another Tombstone. Sub's got his own Tombstone helping defend and counter that Inferno. Giant Skeleton on the left. This is a fascinating mirror matchup right now. I wonder what Airsurfer's last card is. It could be a Valkyrie or a Giant Skeleton. I think the Giant Skeleton's a little bit better in this matchup.
Look at the way that Giant Skeleton just pushed right on through.
Wow!
And that's an insane amount of damage. What was the Giant's, I'm so curious there. What was the Giant Skeleton targeting? Like, what made it push through like that? Was it the Skeleton King pushing the Giant Skeleton forward, trying to get to the troop behind it?
So that's like the biggest play, or it's a very common play that you make with this deck. Yeah, you play the Giant Skelly, you play the Skelly King behind, and both of their hitboxes are so big. The Skelly King, was walking forward, trying to target the unit that the Giant Skeleton was targeting, and continually pushed forward there until the bomb got to the tower.
Well, that might be the nail in the coffin for Airsurfer's run here in the Copa All-Stars. Has to make a big play. Of course, if he is playing Graveyard, then he does have a shot. Obviously, one big push can change everything, but that was a massive blow to his hopes.
Yeah, and I just don't think Airsurfer has Giant Skeleton in his deck. Yeah, since he has that Cannon Cart. So yeah, Giant Skeleton just a little bit better in this matchup, as we could see there. This Graveyard trying to make something happen. The Tombstone's there. The Zappies are there. The Fireball didn't come down for the Zappies. Fireball for the Zappies now, but yeah, I mean, this Graveyard from Sub is doing damage, though.
Oh, it does all the damage there, and that's GG. Airsurfer knocked out here in our top 12. Sub moving on and staying alive. You'll see him again tomorrow on twitch.tv/juicyj_CR for the culmination of this event.
GG's to Sub. He played well. You got it right. You got it right. Thank you, sir.
And there we go. Here was game number 1, and this was the one that felt like Airsurfer had a shot, gave up some early damage, and then tried to fight his way back in late. Couldn't get it done. And then we're going to go into game number 2. This was this is the end. Not seeing the big moment here, just the final moment, but really this was all about that big earlier push where the giant skeleton just went up and snuggled on that left-hand tower.
Yeah, the Skelly King was like, "Yo, bro, you got this. Keep going. Keep going." Pushing it forward like a football player on pushing the stack, you know, trying to get into the end zone.
Rucking over, if you will, with the rugby terminology.
There you go.
So let's take a look at the stats there. Just they're not the API thing. It's not Royale API's fault. The stats are just kind of the API is not built well to pull out data from these dual mode battles. So hopefully they can figure out a way to sort that out to support the data portion of all of this. Taking a look, I'm going to take a look at the bracket here on my end. I don't have the ability to show it because that's from the production booth in Brazil. But what that means bracket-wise is it's going to be Mario Pro versus Sub in one of our next elimination games for tomorrow, with Airsurfer and Francito both going down. Alexi and Tico up next, and then finally Lucas and Adriel. So there's a very good chance that we're going to have a relative unknown making a run at this golden ticket.
Yeah, for sure. That's the thing about the region locked tourneys, right? Like you're gonna see a lot of quote unquote like not best players, you know, make it into the or basically have a chance to make it to these finals, right? Like if we saw like Mugi and Molite and everyone else around the world in this tournament, there'd probably be a very different amount of names in these finals. But I think it's cool at the same time. Like, you know, it'd be a dream come true for one of these unknown players to make it that far.
For sure. I mean, I think you have a combination, right? And not to disparage any of the players who are here. You have the region locked, which certainly does give some, you know, it takes away a few S-tier spots. You know, there were a few top players from the Western regions, or from NA and Latin America, who weren't able to play in the Snapdragon Pro Series, right? So it does change that math a little bit. But then also this version of dual mode, this one where the decks are locked, it does put a little bit more randomization into matchups than we've been used to, which
that's 100% true. Okay, so we have a set of zappies from both players. We got an Inferno Drag from Tico. This might be the same mirror matchup we just saw. Alexi with the Valk here, though, instead of the Cannon Cart slash Giant Skeleton. Let's see. I wonder if Tico has the Giant Skeleton. Because once again here, like, the Giant Skeleton can be a huge difference maker. No, he has a Cannon Cart. So, even though it is kind of the same mirror matchup, it is going to be very different. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out when there's no Giant Skelly in the mix.
Graveyard in left-hand lane, Cannon Cart behind the Skeleton King. Valk will get good value on the two of them. Fireball to clear, and those skeletons get tanked for just a little bit, and that is a lot of damage here in the opening 90.
Yeah, that's a tough situation for Alexi to be in. Like, you need the Valk for the Graveyard and that Cannon Cart. That was very aggressive from Tico, but warranted aggression, especially after seeing the Goblin Cage come down. With Goblin Cage in this deck, I would say that Tico has a bit of a damage, or not a damage leader, but a matchup advantage. The Tombstone's so good in this matchup for like defending against and distracting against the Inferno Dragon, but also that Graveyard there. It can be pretty useful. Let's see.
And I see J-Man saying, I just wish they would do a tournament for the APAC region. Seems unfair to leave it out, and I think that there were plans for one, but remember, all of these tournaments are produced by local production companies. So, you know, I get these were all, you know, there was Royale Masters is produced by Tribe Gaming. This is produced by a Brazilian group. We had the Queso Cup and the Branchon Cup. They're all produced by those small crews and community. They're all community-based events. And, you know, I don't know what happened, but it seems like they couldn't find a community-based producer to put together a golden ticket tournament for APAC in time. That's my guess. That, or they got to a point where they just didn't have the bat. They needed to get 2 of them in. So, you know, I don't know exactly what happened there, but we are going to, of course, go into our next phase pretty soon, and everyone will have that shot.
Mm-hmm. In this match, it looks like Tico's just kind of really controlling the game here for a couple of reasons. Like the tombstone like I talked about before, it looks like Alexi does not have the fireball. He's got the snowball instead as well. And having the big spell is so good because whenever you're in a Zappies versus Zappies mirror matchup, and Zappies do play a huge factor in a game like this, yeah, that's going to be a good game. Just Arrow's snowball is necessary to kill Zappies, whereas Tico can just fireball, right? So difference in the amount of elixir, but also the amount of cards you have to use to kill one of the more important units in that match.
So here we go, game number 2. And assuming Alexi had Graveyard there, more likely than not the case. Assuming Kanze and Golden Knights is almost perfect. Just missing sunglasses, and I agree. Everything's better with sunglasses.
Is that right? Dang, I should get some.
Gooder.com/Rich Slayton.
What's that?
Gooder.com/Rich Slayton. There's a
okay, got it. I gotta check it out. I'll check it out right now. No, I'm just kidding. I gotta watch this game first. We got Lava. We got Lava Mighty Miner versus King Tico with the Giant Skelly Bridge Ram. Is this? Oh wow. Okay. Well, Giant Skelly makes the tower already. That was a beautiful tornado.
Yeah, Alexi just trying to go for this trade now. Can Tico get back around to something here? E-Wiz.
Yeah, I definitely can't use the tornado. I don't think so either. I mean, that's kind of how Lava rolls. It is definitely a tower trade heavy deck. But fortunately for Alexi here, not having the tower trades, tower's going to survive here at 856. This Mighty Miner will end up taking this E-Wiz out, and it kind of poses a threat. So Barb Barrel has to come down here. I like the placement of the Barb Barrel just to damage it. Mighty Miner, that is, so that it doesn't do too much damage to the Princess Tower. At the same time, getting that extra hit in.
Cycling Magic Archer behind tower right now is rough. When you're playing against Fireball, of course, not available for it, I guess, right now, or opting not to play it, maybe is the better description here out of King Tico. Good geometry there.
Oh, yeah. That tombstone going down is definitely important.
And now stacking up in front of the Magic Archer on the left-hand side is Tico. And Alexi looks like he has to eat that one. He just chooses the lava up.
Yeah. I mean, this is a tough situation for Alexi right now. There's a lot of units on the board right now. The Magic Archer is still putting in the work. Mighty Miner will clean up the Giant Skeleton, but with the tornado, this drill is going to connect a lot. Is this Giant Skelly in bomb range?
That is in range. That is in range. That has to be, right?
No way.
It has to be, right? No.
It's not. That was close, though.
That's crazy that it wasn't, but Royal Ghost gets on tower anyway. Is NATO available for Tico to pull this off tower? And it is.
Oh, it is, but the Loon does get that last shot off. Alexi shakes his head. He doesn't think he can win this game. Let's see if he can defend this drill or not. He got some Mighty Miner down. Good. Gotta watch it for Magic Archer right now.
Yeah, that's not. I don't think the angle's there on that one. I bet you Tico was just kind of trying to figure out. Is it there? Oh, it is. Oh, it is.
Wow.
Oh, it is. Oh boy.
My. Tico definitely got an A.
NATO won't be enough.
Class.
NATO's not enough there. he can't just NATO out of this. He has to drill and then NATO, and he gets it done in time. Tico with the 2-0. Welcome to the big leagues, Alexi. We'll see you next time.
Wow. That was actually a beautiful game of Clash Royale. That was really fun to watch. There's a lot of back and forth action there. Really close call with the giant skilly ball on the right there. That was like a centimeter away.
That really felt like it was going to connect. It really did. Here we go, taking a look at some of the action. This was game number 1, the graveyard matchup. And this push ended up putting so much damage on the board as just that tankage by the Skelly King. You see the skeletons in the back there from the graveyard just stacking up. And Skelly King stays on a little bit too long there. Tico gets that one here in game number 2. It was a nice early advantage on the left-hand side for Tico, and then the big counter push on the right by Alexi. But Tico gets the tower down, and then the pressure on the right-hand side here. And you're going to see the, we missed the big defining moment there. Does get it done. A lot in deep, but not quite enough. And there you go. Tico moving through. And we got the most important question here so far from Hello Hi. Great name, by the way. Hello Hi. Top 5 Clash Royale burgers.
What?
Well, yeah, top 5 Clash Royale burgers. Well, I got to think that if you're talking about top Clash Royale burgers, first of all, the bowler burger, just because bowler's so thick, when you would grill the meat, the fat would seep into the meat, so that's a really juicy burger. I think that one's. I'm not sure if this is where you're going with this one, but I'm thinking this is where I'm taking it. The bowler burger seems reasonable. Obviously, the Royal Hogs burger, because they're slower. They seem slower than the Hog Rider. I think they're thicker, right? Not the Hog Rider, but the Hog Rider rides. The Royal Hogs, I think they'd make obviously a good burger. If we're trying to, what?
I don't know. I don't know where you're going with this. I don't know if I can follow you down this path, man.
Lava Hound. Look, if you want a good spicy burger, the Lava Hound burger's got it, dude. If you need a kick, you want I feel like the Lava Hound burger tastes like it's Chipotle, like a Southwest. It's like a Southwest burger. You know what I mean, right? So Lava Hound burger for real. I definitely go that way. I'm trying to figure out what are the other. I feel like the baby dragons are actually vegan. I don't know why. I feel like the baby dragon, because it's green, maybe it's actually not even made of real meat. So I don't even know about that one. Yeah, someone say Quincento saying the Hog Rider's hog. I disagree. It's too lean. That meat that's gamey, right? You know what I mean? It's gonna be tough meat. You don't actually want that burger. I'm gonna have to look through some cards here for a second. Bro,
I'm looking through the cards right now. I'm not as creative as you. I don't know.
Dude, I'm just trying to make sure that people are properly educated on the best burgers here.
Absolutely.
Let's put some music on as we're going for this one, and our final game coming up here in just a moment. But let's finish this one very, very quickly, because this is actually maybe the most important part of the day. No, the Elixir Golem burger, you don't want that one because you eat it and
that
then
sounds gross.
Yeah, no. Ugh. That's actually super nasty.
Mm-mm.
That's super nasty, yeah. Ooh. The Dark Goblin burger. I always feel like the Dark Goblin seems kind of Jamaican. I don't know why. I kind of get that vibe from him. So maybe it's kind of like got that Jamaican burger vibe. That one's pretty good. And then here we go into our final one. The Heal Spirit burger, just to offset all of the heart problems you're getting from those burgers. And there we go. Let's go to our final match of the day. One of the better matchups on paper, Lucas and Adriel. Let's go.
Skelly King Tombstone combo, filling up that ability, always good. Skelly King Tombstone combo is so popular, like I say every single time. Could be RG, could be Graveyard, and it could be Lava. Looks like it's going to be RG since we see this lightning. Mother Witch comes down for these bats. This could be tough for Adriel right now. Yeah, a lot of pigs spawning right now.
I just want to go ahead and one more time thank Hello Hi for the best topic of the day. Top 5 Clash Royale burgers. And I think we solved it.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, both players playing pretty well here. I do really dislike the tombstone placement from Lucas, though. You go one more tile to the opposite lane, and you can continually distract and fully counter a mortar with the skeletons that continually pop out there. So forcing out the zappies as well. Can't be too sad for Lucas right now. He does have a nice damage lead. Goes for an early Fisherman to force out this Queen ability right away, so it's easier to counter. This Queen does require a bit of a response. Lucas decides to take some hits here because he realizes he's down in Elixir. Main reason for being down Elixir is that overcommit on the mortar with the zappies, or not overcommit, but forced overcommit because of the earlier mistake on the tombstone. So now Adriel's got that damage lead.
That's going to put up the message retract. Will that even show? Oh, retracted messages won't show. I wanted to show the it said message retracted there because that was hilarious.
Oh,
good
that poison is so valuable.
Wow, poison value.
Mm-hmm.
That poison hit all 3 zappies, a skeleton king, a couple skeletons, the tower, and maybe Lucas's chair all at the same time. So.
Yeah, maybe. This Queen's getting too much damage for my liking. Like, that's taking more damage than the right-hand side. If you're ever trying to, like, let your opponent even up damage to try and get an Elixir lead, you never want it to be more than your other tower. So now Adriel's even in a better spot than he was before. Didn't know that was possible, but he is. He is going for this RG push, though. Bats come down. He doesn't have the E-Spear. A lot of the time, RG decks have E-Spear to clean up bats like this. He does have the Mother Witch for the bats, but it's not coming down. He's going to go here now. But Poison Snowball instantly. I like that play from Adriel. Get it off the board right away. Prevent any more pigs from spawning.
Plus the Mother Witch, too.
Oh, yeah. Adriel's definitely got some nice poison value this match so far. He started off rough versus that Mother Witch, but he's learned his lesson since then. Get it off the board immediately. Don't let those bats be turned into pigs.
Lightning cycling for Lucas on the right-hand side. Thoughts on that one? I hear you with a little
It's just like, I mean, we've seen this a lot, right? Like, we've seen this a lot with RG players when they're having a hard time breaking through. Like, they just decide to go for the lightning cycle. And maybe that's his only play. I don't like it personally because even if you do that, there's no way you win, right? Like, you have to get an RG connection if you want to win this game. Because
down to under 1,000 HP on the left-hand side here with a 1 HP Skeleton King. Chooses not to pop that ability instead. Oh, does pop it late. Has a little distraction there.
That's good.
And this RG will connect on the right-hand side for at least one.
Mother Witch on the left side connecting as well. Another Mother Witch on the right, spawning some extra piggies. This is what Lucas needs to do. Like, the lightning cycle is nothing in comparison to the minor poison, but he is playing very well right now, using the Mother Witch when the poison's out of cycle to make some piggies, and also just applying pressure with the Skelly Kings, the RGs, trying to get some damage.
And that's the hard part there, right? You see the lightning trying to make a breakthrough against the mortar, but you still see that RG not able to get tower damage even with the lightning on the mortar. So tough position here. Now the lightning gets the AQ off and takes the ever so slight lead. Miner does get chip, and disaster strikes. The Fisherman, the ultimate betrayer.
Yeah, not that it really mattered there. Minor poison did finish the tower, but that's definitely a big mistake. Whenever you're going against a giant Skelly deck, Fisherman in the back, that's a big no-no, that's for sure.
And you see Lucas was trying to figure out what the heck he wants to do here in game number 2.
I've said it a million times, but I can't imagine. You got, what, 12 seconds? Is that? Like, you got 12 seconds to pick your next deck. Or in a game where decks are so important. What did he pick? He picked a Fire Spirit and a Poison? Maybe,
some sort of minor deck?
Yeah, I mean, right? It's got to be minor. Maybe he's taking a page out of Adriel's book here, kind of taking in that deck. Adriel's got the Drill Bridge spam that we've seen all over. Wonder what Lucas is pairing this minor with. Most likely a mortar, right? Ooh, giant Skelly.
So drill here for Adriel.
I'm not sure the matchup. I would say the matchup's in Lucas's hands. If he can defend perfectly, and looks like that will be pretty easy since he's got the guards. If he can defend well in this match and cycle miners and poisons in the towers throughout the game, he should win. On the other end, Adriel's going to have some opportunities to make some huge pushes with the main win condition being the Golden Knight and the Magic Archer Tornado combination, which is very hard to stop. If he can apply enough pressure and maybe force Lucas to make just one mistake, that's all it's going to really take.
Oh, and that's a big one right there.
Oh,
Golden Knight dashing through, getting on tower, and you see Lucas just not happy with it.
And he uses the snowball now. Why now? If the snowball comes out just a second earlier on that Golden Knight, you can push it back before he begins his dash and give the queen enough time to take it out. Now he's just in a really bad spot. This is not the spot you want to be in. Whenever you're using a minor cycle deck or just minor poison deck or any sort of chip deck like this, you want to have the damage lead and maintain that damage lead throughout the match. Whenever you're in the kind of comeback situation, it's never what you want.
And a big shout out to Chazmat Gaming for his 7 months of Tier 1 subs over on Twitch. Thank you very much. I super appreciate the support for my channel and, of course, the whole Clash Royale community as well. And Golden Knight connects on that right-hand side. 13
There's that NATO Golden
things
Knight.
getting worse.
NATO Golden Knight ability, it's a monster combination, that's for sure. Miner's doing its best to chip away and try and make a comeback. But for every time a miner connects, another counter push will come. And Mortar comes down to try and prevent this Golden Knight from dashing anywhere. Looks like it will. Adriel a little bit early on the dash there. In the Mortar.
That cannon cart is just so brutal for the Mortar, though. Because, again, like we're talking about how do you outcycle, and when you're playing this version that has the guards, it's so much harder to outcycle that cannon cart. And so basically every time that Lucas tries to play a Mortar, cannon cart's there.
This is a monster push, though. I could see Lucas winning this game here if Adriel makes a mistake versus this push. Guards at the bridge to protect this Mortar. He wants a lock here, and he gets one.
Wow.
Mortar is locked. Miner's chipping. Maybe setting up for another giant skeleton in the bridge. Yes, giant skeleton comes down. Mortar is still locked. Mortar has so much HP, has an insane lifetime. Barbell does come out. The Mortar does not get that next shot off. This Barbarian is a big threat. Queen comes down to pick it up, but the Miner is chipping away while that giant skeleton is tanking. And a big comeback right now from Lucas.
What a
Can he defend the
huge
drill?
turnaround. And no connections for the Magic Archer as well. And the Mortar locks.
Huge mistake.
Unbelievable. And the prediction on the E-Wiz from the Miner, Lucas. Stunning
Lucas,
right now.
Absolute mad lad.
Woo!
Okay. Can he defend this drill? He just needs to defend this drill.
Magic Archer gets the lineup. No, it doesn't. Mortar high, holds on. Snowball to move it. 38 seconds left. Magic Archer not in range. Miner to the back. No pickup. E-Wiz comes in late. Miner with poison. Golden Knight, no dash available. Snowball does it. Lucas. Woo, boy.
GG's. That was probably the best game that I've seen today. Those plays from Lucas, beautiful. Absolutely perfect gameplay right there. What an amazing comeback.
That was crazy. The replay booth for this better pull that prediction Miner on the E-Wiz, because that was sick.
Nice. It was.
That one's going on Twitter tonight, folks, if you missed it.
Okay, so now Lucas is coming out with the Mighty Miner Skeletons. We might be seeing a bait mirror matchup right now. Oh, really good ability. Uh-oh. GG. I think this is GG already.
Oh, boy. What an unbelievable amount of damage to hit that early.
Yeah, you gotta be happy about that if you're Lucas right now. Adriel, I don't know. Once again, that Mighty Miner locking on for the tower for just a little bit. But that's all it takes. And the tower's down to 643 already after that Princess shot.
And you see Adriel just sitting there going like, well, I guess I have to keep playing cards.
Yeah, He's definitely not looking happy. In a mirror matchup like this, it's really tough to come back unless we see a huge mistake from Lucas. I don't see Adriel winning this. Here comes the mirrored barrel, and Adriel already used his mirror, so he's not able to mirror the roll delivery. So tower goes down, and the Dark Gob gets cleaned up very easily by that very nice cannon placement, slightly in the opposite lane in order to tank. I don't know. Maybe Adriel's spirit broke a little bit in that last match. I feel like if he played a little bit better there, he could have prevented that Mighty Miner Gobbro connection. Biggest mistake.
Crazy turn of events. What a crazy turnaround.
Yeah, I would have never expected it. I think the biggest mistake was doing the roll delivery though, right? Like you use the roll delivery on the princess on the right hand side when you have to realize you are in a bait mirror matchup. Definitely, it's way better to take a couple hits from that princess on the right and save the roll delivery for the goblin barrels, especially when you're in a mirrored goblin barrel matchup.
But that game, it really felt all dead and done. And whatever second gear, whatever fifth gear, sixth gear that Lucas found, in that
right?
game number 2, just suddenly the whole thing changed.
That's actually I couldn't have said it better myself. Like that's so true. Like I feel like Lucas wasn't playing perfect so far. Like I didn't really expect him to get knocked out of the winners bracket either. And yeah, I definitely was seeing a lot of mistakes, but in that game, he just like, I don't know, he turned something on, for sure.
And Lucas certainly feeling the stress there.
Yeah.
Someone check on that pillow, but there's a little bit of relief out of the veteran here for Lucas. GG,
Yep.
well played. What a way to end our stream today, Juicy, with a crazy turnaround performance from a long-standing, talented pro, from the guy who was number 2 in the world for most of the year last year.
Mm-hmm.
That was
yeah,
a big one.
that was a beautiful game. Oh, they gave us the replay. Wait, no. Wait, is this it? No.
This is from game
this
number
is the first
1.
game. Yeah.
And this was where it was close here. It was actually close here.
It was.
But the giant skeleton gets in, and that makes it very unclose. And then here we go. No, we didn't get the miner, though. This is before. I think this is before the miner. Yeah, this is after the miner.
That magic archer was so close to locking on, though.
Yeah, I'm glad I clipped that because the miner portion of that is so important for that clip. And
Yeah.
here we go, and then the ending of game number 3. But, ooh, man, Lucas put on a move in game number 2. Just a straight move, and that's one of the reasons why I think miner is one of the most exciting cards in this game, is because there's more things that can be done, like more game-changing moments, high IQ moments you can get from a miner than any other card in this game.
Yeah, it's just the control, right? You can place it on any tile, anywhere on the map. And because of that, there's just so many different things that you can do. So much outplay potential.
Yep. Indeed. I'm going to see if we can get a final look at the bracket. I'm going to ask for that right now and see if they'll give us that one. Hey, everybody, whoever's watching right now, first of all, thank you so much for joining us. If you're on Twitch, make sure you stick around. We're going to go find someone cool to host, as I always do. Whether you're watching on Twitch or YouTube, though, thanks for watching this with us. We'll get you the final bracket here in just a minute. Man, this has been a whole lot of fun. If you haven't yet, make sure you go to twitch.tv/juicyj_CR to make sure you do not miss tomorrow's culmination. Yeah, there you go. That is also his Twitch. So go ahead and find that on Twitch tomorrow to see the championship, the finals of this competition overall, and see who goes and gets that golden ticket trip to World Finals, the $15,000 plus $20K for making World Finals in the first place. All right, who goes and gets all that stuff? If you're watching here on YouTube or on Twitch, if you haven't yet, if you're on Twitch, give it a follow. If you're on YouTube, hit that sub button. Come back. We do so much Clash Royale esports stuff here, from these big streamed events to a couple little tip videos to BO5s, all that stuff here on the channel. It's free. It's the best way to support the channel is to go ahead and hit that sub. We are today We are at 81,233 subs as of my last. Oh, check. I'll refresh. 81,242 subs on the channel. I'm on that road to 100K, trying to make that happen before the end of the year. And you can be a part of that. Really appreciate that. Here we go. Taking a look finally at the bracket. Here was our first round that happened yesterday on Juicy's channel. You see, of course, Lucas, who we just saw winning, getting his early win here. But here we are now in the upper bracket. You can see the final remaining 8 players.
Wow.
Upper bracket, Surg TS, Prestige, Coka, and Ardentoas. Any one of those players needs just 3 best-of-3 wins to become our world finalist. Down in the lower bracket, you see Mario Pro, Sub, Tico, and Lucas. And each one of those guys needs to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins to go ahead and try to get that golden ticket championship. So very big difference on those two sides. We've seen it done before, but not often. You can tune in tomorrow to find out if it's actually going to happen.
Yeah, I'm always rooting for the underdog, but yeah, I think I'm gonna put my money on Coka. Like, he's been having a absolute insane energy when he wins, and I think he can continue that energy and kind of use it as momentum. Maybe he'll take it all the way.
Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. Everybody who's watching everywhere, thank you so much. We're going to end the YouTube stream here in just a moment. If you're on Twitch, stick around so we go find someone to give a quick raid to. As always, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Make sure to be excellent to each other. And let me go ahead and watch I'm going to end the YouTube side. And Twitch. Yeah, here we go. I'm watching the kisses come through. And boom, I'm ending the YouTube stream.